us through the month of May, Ally Financial is offering 0% financing for up to 72 months on select models. And don't forget, with over 25 different lenders and rebates and incentives from Mitsubishi, we can put you into a brand new car with absolutely zero money down. And if you purchase a vehicle from us in the month of May, Lancaster Mitsubishi has partnered with the Lancaster Barnstormers to give you tickets to the Lancaster Mitsubishi Suite. So Lancaster, make your way to Lancaster Mitsubishi and become part of our story. As always, all sales come with our famous LLM Club, lifetime state safety inspections and car washes as long as you own the vehicle. We are located on the corner of McGovern Avenue and North Prince Street next to the train station. You know we have what you deserve.
For the Barnstormers, he was like first inning, batting first to center fielder, number 15, Caleb Indall.
Well, we apologize for not being with us. We've been sitting here talking, but nothing's been going out. So we'll catch you up on what's going on. No score, bottom half of the first inning, with Adam Gockenauer sitting in with me here tonight. Now Caleb Gindel facing James Simmons, and the first pitch from Simmons is a called strike, 0-1. James Simmons, 11-8 with a 4.07 ERA in 25 starts, 175 hits allowed, and 154 and 2/3 innings. He has simply been a workhorse for Mark Mason. Simmons from Yorba Linda, California. 6'3", 220-pounder. Missing the zone, and to Gendel it goes to 2 balls and a strike. Caleb down to 293, 10 home runs, 71 driven in. The motion and the pitch. Gendel with a swing and a pop-up. Here the second base bag. Wilson and Chavez both there, and Wilson has to recover at the last second and make the catch out in shallow center field. Neither one of those middle infielders expected the ball to go that deep behind second base. They were coming in on it. Wilson had to reroute at the end. One out. Here is Trayvon Robinson, the left fielder. He is batting .254 with 13 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Trayvon has had a great last 3 ball games. He has gone 6 for 11. He's homered. He has 4 stolen bases in that stretch. Outside to him from Simmons, ball 1 and no strikes. And he's going to play every day now.
Yeah, it's nice to see these guys get the chance to play, show what they have, entertain the crowd a little, especially this guy.
1-0, and there's a ball driven deep right center field. Way back it goes, and the walls will not contain it. It hit the Pepsi sign. Home run for Trayvon Robinson. He has 14.
Well, we're right on cue, Dave. We said this guy's going to give us a little entertainment, and what's he do? Puts the Barnstormers ahead 1-0 with a big blast to right center field.
Trayvon Robinson has found a home here in Lancaster, and one thing, maybe it's the effect of having DJ Boston, a left-handed batter in his own right, working with him, but Trayvon struggled from the left side of the plate at Somerset, and it's one of the reasons they let him go, but since becoming a Barnstormer, he's hit .307 left-handed. He was hitting below 200 from the left side as a Patriot. 1 out with a run home. Here's Casey Hobson, who's tied for the league lead in home runs. Simmons to the plate, and Casey takes a pitch on the inside corner. It is 0-1.
Yeah, and if folks at home don't know, we have a home run chase going in the Atlantic League this year, and Casey's tie right now, and 4 straight years this would be that we could win it.
4 straight years, 6 out of the last 7. Last year it was Lance Zawadski with just 20, which it was an extremely low total to win it. On the outside corner, 1-2, the count on Casey Hobson. And prior to that, it was Cole Garner, Ryan Harvey. Then you go back to 11, Tommy Everidge. And in 10, it was split between Aaron Herr and Reggie Taylor. Swing and a miss. Hobson goes down. 2 outs in the inning, and Josh Bell will step in. 295 for Bell with 18 home runs and 82 driven in. There's always that salary drive. Fans are on one too. We've had really good turnouts last night and tonight for weeknights in September.
Very nice weather, good turnout. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the Barnstormers here at the last homestand of the regular season.
Up and in for a ball to Bell, 1-0. The kick by Simmons, the pitch, and Bell screams one to dead center. Back goes Witherspoon, looking up, and that ball is high off the batter's eye. Bell will race into second base. He's got a 2-out double.
Yeah, there was one, I think Bell thought that was gone because he kind of trotted around first, slowed up, and all of a sudden, oops, it hit the wall. I better get going.
I think Witherspoon thought it was gone too, and then the ball caught the batter's eye, I would say about 2/3 of the way up from the way it looked. Sean Halton comes to the plate with the runner at second base and 2 outs. Bell with his 29th double of the season. Halton batting .287 with 21 home runs. He's driven in 67. The Simmons pitch is upstairs, ball 1 and no strikes. This is a Barnstormers team that will be remembered as probably having as good as, if not the best, middle of the order, at least in terms of power, than any other team that we've had here. Pulled down the left field side foul, 1 hop into the seats, and Halton bats at 1-1, and it's puzzled everybody why this team has not scored more runs with all the hitting they've done.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you see the stats that these guys are putting up this year and the numbers, and it makes your head scratch. And, I've sat down there the whole season and watched it, and we have these flashes of brilliance, but then we get in a little rut, and that's hurt us.
To Halton, here's the 1-1. That is driven to right center field. Racing after it, Witherspoon. He goes headlong and cannot make the play. Bell will score. Halton isn't slowing down. He's on his way to third, and he's got his 6th triple of the season.
Great hit by Mr. Halton there. And the nice thing is that ball was tailing away, so that's a tough catch, but to his credit, Travis Witherspoon, he can fly out there, and he almost made that catch with a ball going away from him.
I think it would have been heartbreaking to the Barnstormers and specifically to Halton if that ball had been caught.
Absolutely agree. That was a really nice shot and little help to the breeze and the tail there.
68th run batted in for Halton on the season, and
the official ruling on the field is a
they're going to call a ground rule double. So Halton gets cheated out of a base and is sent back to second. Great try by Witherspoon, which we were discussing. Ball must have hopped up and glanced off the screen. You don't expect that when somebody tries to make a diving catch on a play.
I was thinking the same thing, and I think that's what Butch is out there talking about and just making sure of the call. And to Sean Halton's credit, he kept motoring. I mean, he wanted that bad, so good hustle.
So he gets double number 26 instead of triple number 6. Mike Jacobs standing in with the runner at second base and 2 outs. And the pitch to Jacobs is yanked foul toward the local Flavor.com deck. 0-1. The Barnstormers are largely teeing off so far tonight on James Simmons, a guy they have faced twice. He is 1-1 in the season series. We have a home run, a double, and a ground rule double here in the first inning. Mike Jacobs 0-1 after a long foul. Here is the set. Simmons to the plate. Jacobs with a swing and a miss. He goes down 0-2. Kevin Aarons, the second baseman, waits on deck.
Yeah, quite the difference in this half of the inning, and to kind of get everyone caught up on the first half that you missed. 3 ground balls for Joe Gardner, our pitcher, against the York Revolution, and all of ours that I remember here have been up in the air and hit well.
Here comes the 0-2. Jacobs gets jammed, pops it up foul, but stays alive. That was not an easy pitch to handle. He just had to fight it off and flick it away at the last second. That was the best he could do with that pitch, but too close for him to take it.
Absolutely. That's a good 0-2 pitch, something that's close enough that makes you swing that you don't want to take, but yet you're not going to get your best cut on it.
Jacobs being played to pull. It is no balls and 2 strikes. Halton leads from second. The offering swung on and missed. The tag is applied by Tejeda, and that'll do it. Simmons strikes out 2 in the inning, but the Barnstormers also come up with 3 extra base hits to score 2 runs. No errors. 1 man is left on base at the end of an inning. Lancaster's up by the score of 2-0.
Triple berry cutler grilled cheese donut.
When the alarm goes off, the rush is on. And then you step into your Lexus ES. Now that's better. Exquisitely crafted details and exceptional comforts surround you. Before you know it, it's back to the grind. And not a moment too soon. A moment just for you. It's not just a car, it's your daily retreat. With innovative technology and refined styling, go ahead, spoil yourself. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
After church or before a Sunday ball game, drop by the Federal Tap House in Lancaster for their elegant Sunday brunch. Their brunch menu has something for everyone, which includes options such as stuffed French toast, Tap House Benedict's over burgers, crab cakes or short ribs, breakfast burritos, and huevos rancheros, not to mention select items off of their already great menu, which include their wood-fired pizzas. That's at Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster, or at their other location on 2nd Street in Harrisburg. Served from 10:30 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Joe Gardner works his second inning here tonight. Gardner had a magnificent first. As we discussed on the pregame show tonight, which unfortunately you did not hear, because Dave's an idiot, plain and simple. We talked about Gardner's last start. He had 4 3-batter innings and 3 really difficult innings that he had a hard time getting out of, and New Britain piled up 8 runs against him. Here's the first pitch to Andres Perez. That's good for a strike, 0-1. But if Joe Gardner keeps pitching like he pitched in the first inning, York's in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great inning. 3 ground balls. I have him at 7 pitches for 3 batters. That's efficiency at its best.
Here's the 0-1, lifted foul out of play to the right. A second strike on Perez. Made the comparison between Joe and Kyle Simon, who was his teammate in Lancaster last year. They're in so many ways the same guy. At 3/4 angle with the good sinker, getting a lot of ground balls. 0-2. The count on Andres Perez. Gardner comes back and misses low. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Neither guy will overpower you, but at the end of the night, they get the job done.
That's exactly all you need, and it keeps the infielders loving this guy because they know they're going to get some action.
Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Sweeps outside and low. Perez back at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Michael Rocket, the left fielder, on deck, and then Michael Burgess, the designated hitter and bottom of the 6th inning pitcher last night. Here's a 2-2, smash on the ground, and underneath the glove of the lunging Kevin Ahrens into right field for a base hit to start the second. But Gardner also knows those will happen. All the while, it looked like Ahrens would get there, and the ball just seemed to shoot on him at the last second and go underneath the glove as he ended up diving for it. Leadoff man aboard, Michael Rocket, the left fielder, will come to the plate. 301 with 7 home runs and 49 driven in. Now, if things break right for Gardner tonight, he'll get a double play ground ball here. Busted bat and a pop-up into foul territory. He'll take that. Hobson floats back to make the catch. Rocket is dispatched, and now Burgess will step in. Perez remains at first base. Barnstormers have had trouble with Andres Perez over the years, but who hasn't? He's really one of the better hitters in this league over the past decade.
Yeah, it's amazing how we talk about the same guys every year that come into here and do their thing. I mean, I can think of Bryant Nelson is just a guy that's a thorn in our side every time he comes in. You have a whole handful of them, as you well know, my friend.
To Burgess, low, ball one, no strikes. Travis Scott, another guy I always dread facing in here. Don't mind facing him in Sugar Land. He's done a little damage down there, but boy, when he comes in here, hold on to your hat. 1 ball, no strikes to Burgess, also a dangerous guy. Lob toss over to first. Perez is back in. You can't take him too lightly, but he's only stolen 1 this year. Burgess gave up 2 home runs last night. Chase Patterson and Casey Hobson got to him. And then he got 3 outs in a row. Ground ball right side, and that gets through for a base hit.
Another piece of lumber laying there broken, but again, it sneaks through that right side of the infield, and York has runners on first and second with 1 out right now.
This can be the downside of being Joe Gardner. A couple of base hits just creeping through the right side. Burgess did not hit that well at all, and if there's not the runner on ahead of him, it's an easy play for Casey Hobson. But it's why left-handed batters can have that little advantage hitting for average, because the first baseman's holding the runner on. That hole is wide open over there, and Burgess barely found it. Now Brian Pound steps in, and the first pitch reaches the inside corner, strike 1. The question is, can Gardner get the ground ball double play, or does this inning continue to build? His last start, the innings just continued to build. He gave up 3 separate 2-run hits, largely with 2 outs in the inning. To Pounds, ground ball to shortstop. This may be it. To Aaron's 1, and on to Hobson, a double play. So Gardner gets another ground ball, this one within range of an infielder, and he's out of the inning. That's simple. No runs, 2 hits with no errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom half of the second inning. 2-0 Lancaster.
All right, Lancaster.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown is the place where baseball legends live forever. It's where the exciting moments of today stand along the iconic tales of the past. With new exhibits and artifacts telling incredible stories, the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a must-see destination for fans of all ages. Baseball in Cooperstown. Oh my! Plan your visit today. Check out baseballhall.org.
Kevin Aarons leading off the Lancaster half of the second inning against James Simmons. Aarons a .284 hitter with 12 home runs. He has knocked in 61 on the year. Pitch is outside, ball 1 and no strikes. This is a guy that may ultimately have been better off sitting out for 3 or 4 weeks, but with all the other injuries and the roster constantly being short, couldn't bring himself to do it. Looper out the left, he's got a base hit. That falls in front of the charging Michael Rocket. Aarons is aboard. The Barnstormers own their 4th hit of the night, and catcher Mike McDade will step in. Aarons has been playing on a sore foot. The only remedy for what he has is to rest the foot and stay off of it for 3-4 weeks. Ray Navarrete did it a few years ago, had the same condition and sat out about a month for the Long Island Ducks, but the Barnstormers couldn't afford it, and Ahrens has really gutted it out here, and you can only pay tribute to a guy like that. First pitch to Mike McDade, a foul ball back and out of play. But when you've got Kevin Ahrens' background as a #1 draft choice, high school player of the year, so on and so forth, he could be a prima donna, and he is anything but that. Ahrens is one tough hombre. No balls and a strike. Outside on the floater to McDade. The count evens at 1-1. Shortstop Dean Wilson waits on deck.
And that, to let everyone know, we were talking about this earlier too. Tell everyone about Blake Galen if people don't know about his foot troubles.
1 ball, 1 strike. The count on Mike McDade. He drives a foul the other way. It is 1-2 as we look up toward the Miami Dolphin-esque sky. Very aqua and orange up there this evening. Blake Galen has played his last game as a Barnstormer this year. He was going to shut it down anyway, get ready to play for Team Israel, get the hip treated. So our lasting memory for now of Blake Galen was the grand slam he hit here last night. But on top of getting the hip treated today, he discovered that his toe was broken. He's been playing it with a broken toe for the last 3 weeks. So if you wondered why Blake looked a little slower than normal, there were actually 2 reasons. 1-2 to McDade, line drive that is off the glove of the second baseman Chavez. He's still going to be able to get the force out at second base. That ball sailed on Chavez and at the last second nearly knocked his block off.
Yeah, I think that was off the glove, off the side of the face, and to the ground. And he's a little shaken up, so we have a little trainer action right now coming out and checking him out.
Chung Choi, the trainer, and Paul Fletcher, the pitching coach, on the way out to talk to the utility infielder Chavez, playing second base tonight. Hard to fathom that got in the lights anywhere, but it definitely did not quite react the way Chavez thought it would, and it did. Went glove, side of the head, and then caromed away into his shallow right field. He had the presence of mind, still get the force out on Kevin Ahrens. That definitely was there to present itself. Ahrens seeing a line drive in the neighborhood of the second baseman. He's tearing back to first and had no chance to advance to second.
Yeah, that was a no-win situation for poor Mr. Ahrens either way. I think if that ball's caught, he might have gotten doubled up, and of course, since it was dropped, now he's got to get to second.
The batter is shortstop Dean Wilson, batting just 130, 10 runs driven in. 1 out, 1 on, and the pitch to Dean a little bit tight. Ball 1 and no strikes. So Blake Galen hits the grand slam last night. It'll be our lasting memory of Blake, and everybody says hopefully for now. We'd always love to see him back fully healthy for the next season. Ball 2 is low, 2 balls and no strikes. And he took that baseball and brought it with him today and gave it to a very dear friend of ours by the name of Janet Dietrich. She has been ill this entire season. Strike to the outside corner on Wilson, says Bill Reuter. It's 2-1. And I gave that grand slam ball to Janet today, and I think it made Janet's day.
The smile, I saw the picture of it. The smile on her face is priceless, and you guys did a great service by doing that. She's a sweetheart. She deserves that in the best way, and that's stuff you don't see in the paper all the time, and the little things about baseball off the field that these guys do, and you guys do as a compliment, and it's wonderful stuff. Thank you.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Wilson with 1 out, runner at first base, fouled away. And we continue at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're a family here, and we all have different functions in the family, but we are a family. Whether it's the front office, the players, the fans, the local businesses who partner with us, we're a family, and that's the way we feel about it. And when a member of the family is not doing well, you take care of that person.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a big family here, but the compassion and the love is still the same. I mean, it's a wonderful group to be a part of.
Here's the 3-2. Wilson swings and he misses. Down on strikes. That is the 3rd for Simmons. Back around to the top of the order, Caleb Gindel. He popped out the shortstop back in the first inning. Caleb has had a marvelous year here, but in the waning days of the season, it just looks like that bat weighs about 60 ounces in his hands.
Well, coming into this game, 515 at-bats this year.
Topper foul up the first base line. It is 0-1 with Galen out. Gindel, Robinson, and Halton are going to play just about every game. Now, there was another outfielder signed today. We brought in a young man by the name of Miles Williams. He is 24 years of age. Played a little bit in the Marlins organization. Gindel with a fly ball to center field. Travis Witherspoon will camp underneath and make the catch. It ends the second, which began with a lot of promise. Nothing ever developed. No runs on one hit with no errors. And there was one man left on base. We are going to head to inning number 3 with the score Lancaster 2 and York nothing.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Great deal from Lancaster Pizza Company.
Joe Gardner getting set for the top half of the third inning, along with Adam Gockenauer. Dave Collins with you. It'll be the shortstop Josh Wilson leading off in the third for the York Revolution. The Barnstormers with a 2-0 lead. Lancaster has hit the ball certainly quite nicely so far tonight. 4 hits and a couple of runs, and it has looked like the team is hit for the cycle, but then they scaled Sean Halton back a base in the first inning and said the ball had hopped over the fence and come off the screen, so they gave him a ground rule double instead of a triple. Pitch to Josh Wilson is inside from Joe Gardner. Ball 1, no strikes. Wilson at 257 with 8 home runs and 39 knocked in. Been a very steady player for York. Line drive out toward left field. Here comes Trayvon. He is there, 1 out.
Trayvon was probably looking up saying, what the heck was that? First ball that went to the outfield all night, and first one in the air, period.
You're just not going to see too many balls in the air off of Gardner unless he starts to elevate, and some nights that happens when he gets a little bit more fatigued. 1 gone. Here is the switch hitting Brandon Chavez. His face might still smart. Yeah. Hit by a line drive that just sailed on him. The glove took most of the steam out of it, though, so he was able to stay in the game. 1-0, Gardner to Chavez. There's a strike. It is 1-1. I have to believe that Chavez has, for years, been the most slender player in the league. Outside, ball 2. It is 2-1. I mean, this is a really thin guy. Quincy Foster thin.
Yeah, there's a name going back for all you Barnstormer fans. That's a good analogy.
Here comes the 2-1 to Chavez, fouled away, 2-2. But don't kid yourself, this guy is deadly, especially left-handed in this ballpark. He's hit a few out of here over the years. Chavez has made the Atlantic League rounds over time. And the pitch, fouled again, still 2-2. 1 out in the inning. Lancaster can actually clinch possession of the Community Cup for the next year with a victory here tonight. The season series even at 9 games apiece, and well, a tie goes to the incumbent, and that is us folks on the east side of the river.
That's a good thing to have when you're talking about a possible tie, to have that cup, big time positive.
3-2, ball hammered to center field. That's carrying on Gindel. He reaches up, and that ball clears him. Chavez will make a wide turn at second and then hold on with a 1-out double. Ball is traveling really well out there tonight. The humidity has started to come back. The wind is blowing out, and I think we've seen a couple of defenders fooled already in this game.
Yeah, we saw that earlier in our series when we were batting with Travis Witherspoon in center field. And like you said, there was one that Joe Gardner got elevated just a little bit, and he was able to get his bat on it and hit it very well. An inch or two away from it, but nevertheless over his head and standing on second now.
And here is Witherspoon, who grounded out his first time up. Now a fastball inside to him, 1-0. The Barnstormers with a 2-0 lead here in the top of the third inning. Gardner comes set, and to Witherspoon. Ball 2 is inside. And all of a sudden, there's trouble. Balls have been hit well here in the third inning.
Seems to be watching him here, the fastball isn't finding its mark, and he is getting him up a little bit, and that's not his game. I mean, the first 2 innings, they were pretty much all ground balls.
Here comes the 2-0. Big swing and a foul in and out of McDade's glove. 2-1, the count to Witherspoon. And 2 ground ball base hits through the right side in the second inning, but here a line out to left, and Chavez hit the ball a long way to left center field. Bell plays up over at third. You still have to try and take away the bunt from Witherspoon. Here's the pitch, ground ball past the mound. Aarons will field, look toward third, no chance there. Witherspoon is out 4-3, and Gardner goes back, gets another ground ball. Chavez advanced to third with 2 outs. Now the other day, in a very peculiar set of circumstances, Kevin Aarons threw out Wellington Dotel 4-5. That was in the 8th inning on Saturday. And how often do you see that? Now, a little bit more now with the shift where the third baseman moves over to play the second baseman's spot. You'll see that 4-5 force out at times, but this was 4-5 tag play at third base. Fouled off to the left side. Bell and Wilson try to chase it down, but it's in the seats. 0-1 to Jared Mitchell.
No, you bring up a good point. That's true. That play was a very unique play, and all your games here right next to me, I'm looking down at Dave's scorecards, and he has a whole book of every game, and I bet there aren't too many. Yeah, 12 years up on the top rack, and there aren't too many times you can say 4-5.
1 strike, the count to Mitchell. Gardner comes back. That is up, 1-1. You do see it more with the shift now. There have been a couple of 4-5-3 double plays this year. With the shortstop staying home and the third baseman moving up the middle, and the second baseman playing shallow right. 1-1, swing and a miss. It is 1-2. But if you show that to a baseball traditionalist on a scorecard, the quizzical look, the balloon with the question mark over the top would definitely be there.
Oh, it's exciting to sit down where I do, down as a season ticket holder on the field. And you have people around me that will ask about baseball things and Why did that happen? What are they doing? And it's always fun to see that shift where the third baseman runs over to that side of the field and the questions get asked.
Mitchell gets a fastball just below the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chavez over at third. 2 men gone, top half of inning 3, with Lancaster leading by a pair. McDade sets the target. Here's the 2-2, foul to the screen. Gardner still with a battle on his hands here against Jared Mitchell in the top half of the 3rd inning. Good turnout tonight, a Tuesday after school's back in session. We got a lot of folks here. Picnic area's full. 2-2. And to Mitchell, he pulls a weak ground ball right side. Kevin Aarons with the play, and Gardner gets himself out of the inning. Mitchell rolled over on an outside off-speed pitch. He's retired, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. Joe Gardner continuing to live by the ground ball. It's what he does. We're in the middle of the 3rd inning tonight with the score. The Lancaster Barnstormers 2 and the York Revolution nothing.
Oversized vest. Wear an oversized vest.
What's more exhilarating than playing the new Million in an Instant game with top prizes of $1 million? Winning on the spot.
Woo-hoo! I won!
So if you can't wait to win, then don't wait to play. Million in an Instant from the Pennsylvania Lottery for a chance to win up to $1 million on the spot. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Keep on scratching. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
It's nice out and you just want to relax after a day at work. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great idea. For Monday through Thursday home games, the Barnstormers have super dinner and a ball game deals at Clipper Magazine Stadium. On Monday, join us for an all-you-can-eat pork barbecue dinner in the Hess's Picnic Pavilion, or choose chicken on Tuesday, all for just $20, including your game ticket. And new on Monday, it's pizza, beer, and pinball all night long. Then on Wednesdays, it's Hatfield hot dogs for just $1 each, with 2-for-1 burgers on Thursdays. Call 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com for more details.
Trayvon Robinson leads off the home 3rd. Robinson connected for his 14th home run of the season, his 5th as a Barnstormer back in the 1st inning. Simmons kicks, brings it home, and it is high and outside. Ball 1 and no strikes. Robinson is 11 out of 28 on the current homestand with a couple of home runs. He's hit safely in 17 of his last 18 starts. Off-speed pitch, catches the outside corner. It is 1-1. Simmons not a terribly hard thrower, but he has just been a workhorse for this York ball club. Breaking ball across, make it 1-2. That almost seemed like a knuckleball. He's got a little of everything, this Simmons. Man who got to AAA with both Oakland and Washington. Inside and low, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and you have a pitcher out there that is actually one of the elites ranked this year in the league, 11 wins on the season, and if I remember, 25 games started, I think I saw. I mean, a lot of games.
Ball 3 is outside. It definitely looks like a knuckleball, but I don't recall seeing that from him before.
I was just going to say, that one was nice and outside that we could see that pitch, and it just sat there and kind of wiggled around like a knuckleball does.
3-2 to Trayvon Robinson. Here's the pitch. Ball 4 is inside and low. Robinson with the leadoff walk here in the third inning. Casey Hobson to the plate. Hobson struck out back in the first inning. Now, not only is he in the thick of the home run race, but at the same time, he also has a 15-game hitting streak. So, doing the quick math, if he gets a base hit in every game for the rest of the season, he'll break the franchise record by 1. And tonight, he didn't look comfortable at all, and at first at bat against Simmons. We'll see if KC makes the adjustment. Robinson on ahead of him. Here is the set, and to KC, driven down the right field line. There's your base hit, the ball off the base of the wall. Up with it quickly is Mitchell. He'll throw into the middle of the diamond. Robinson to third. Hobson only with a single. He hit that ball hard, and Mitchell played it very well. First and third, nobody out. Josh Bell coming in.
Yeah, and as you just said, he made the adjustments from that first at bat, saw a pitch that he could handle, and you have, KC come into this game at 324 average, so it's not just, a 200 hitter that hits for power. You got a guy that's doing it all for us this year.
He is, since the 1st of July, he has been the best player in the Atlantic League. He's got the good glove at first base, and what he's done offensively has been amazing. Here's Josh Bell trying to add to the Lancaster lead. Bell a long double to center his first time up. Now looks at a pitch inside. Ball 1 and no strikes. If Hobson had elevated that ball, they may still be looking for it. It may not have come down yet.
Absolutely.
They might be tracking it via NORAD. The ball 1 pitch. Bell lifts a fly ball down the left side. Pounds and Rocket will give chase, but there's no chance. It's onto the hill. 1 ball and 1 strike. What a beautiful sunset here tonight. We're in the final stages, and a gorgeous series now of darker colors. 1-1 to Bell with runners at the corners. Here's the pitch. High fly ball, deep right field.
Goodbye.
Mitchell's going to be a witness. The walls will not contain it. That is the 19th of the year for Josh Bell, and the Barnstormers lead 5-0.
Now, there was that pitch again that you and I are sitting there wondering what it is, but there looked like a knuckleball that didn't knuckle. And as you know over the years, a knuckleball pitcher is deadly if it moves, but if it doesn't move, it's sitting on a tee.
Josh Bell now with 85 runs batted in on the season. We talk about the home run race.
Tied for the lead.
Tied for the lead in runs batted in now. Sean Halton to the plate. Halton with an RBI double back in the first inning.
And I was just getting ready to say before that failed knuckleball that, we talk about KC and his stats, but Josh was only 3 behind Joel Guzman, also of the York Revolution, who isn't playing tonight. Now we're tied, 85 each.
Across for a strike on Halton. It is 0-1. Simmons comes back, and there's a fly ball deep to right, down the line, hooking toward the pole, and that ball is a fair ball and a home run for Sean Halton as the Barnstormers go back-to-back and lead by a score of 6-0. Sean Halton with his 22nd home run of the year.
Well, Dave, I don't mean to get ahead of ourselves yet, but as you well know, every time I've done this broadcast with you over the years, we've won. So I'm telling you, there's something about you and I sitting up here that gets these guys pumped up.
6-0 the score. First time all year that the Barnstormers have hit back-to-back home runs. Now there was the ultimate Clipper Magazine Stadium home run. Halton will take it to get to 22 on the season, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be the one he sends on highlight reels to teams that might want to acquire him. We'll take some of those blasts he's hit up onto the hillside out and left to Jacobs. He goes for the home run swing, fouls it back. It is 1-1. 6-0 Lancaster breaking out the home run bats tonight.
And what a difference we're seeing between the two pitchers tonight. Joe Gardner, for the most part, except for a couple fly balls, has been all ground balls, whereas we've been elevating every pitch tonight from Mr. Simmons.
Swing and a miss by Jacobs. He goes to 1-2. Now he's getting fastballs.
I'm not sure after a couple of those failed knuckleballs if he wants to continue to work on that pitch or not.
There's one, but very far inside and low. Jacobs will bat at 2-2. Still nobody out this inning with 4 runs home. Kevin Aaron's on deck, and then Mike McDade. Here's a 2-2 inside for ball 3 to Jacobs, and the count is full, 3-2.
Well, we just want to, let our fans know that yes, we started a little late, and it wasn't the new guy or anything of me doing it, but boy, do we make up for it. We give you a game, folks.
Ground ball down the line at first, and that skips away from Perez, and that will scatter the bullpen. Staying at first base is Mike Jacobs. He is aboard, and how is this one going to be ruled? It'll be an error charged to the first baseman, Perez. But another runner on, Kevin Aaron's, will come to the plate. That was a skimmer. It was a hard skimmer, but it was a skimmer, and ball came off Perez's glove. Kevin Aaron's will come to the plate. Aaron's with a soft line drive into left field for a base hit his first time up. Simmons to the plate, and Aaron's looks at a fastball down at the knees for a strike, 0-1.
And we talk about it, any sports fans out there, basketball is one of those sports where you have runs. Every team's going to have a run. Well, we're having one now where everything seemed to go really well for us.
Pitch in the dirt. Aaron's unable to hold on the swing. He trails 0-2. Mike McDade waits on deck.
And that's another side benefit, as you well know in this game, as a hitter, when you go up there and your guys in front of you are hitting everything, they're doing well, they're making good contact, you go up there with that same mindset and you hit the ball well.
Soft line drive up for it. Chavez, a wonderful leaping catch, and he doubles Jacobs off first base. 4-3 double play. Aaron's doing what I think maybe could have been done a little bit more this year. I love the approach there. 2 strikes in the count, going the other way, line drive, but Chavez is 6'3". We mentioned how thin he is. He went up like a spear, and he made the catch. Nice play by Chavez, 2 outs. Here is McDade, and he'll get a pitch outside. Ball 1-0.
Up now at the plate is the gentleman last inning that hit the ball that bounced off the glove and off the side of the face.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. McDade screams a foul into the third base seats. That's Adam Gocknauer's neighborhood down.
I was going to say, I'm going to catch a lot of grief that I wasn't there with the glove helping out the fellow season ticket holders. Sorry, guys.
1 ball, 1 strike to McDade. Swinging a drive. Deep to right field. Way back it goes, and it comes off the top of the wall and will be played by Mitchell. A long single for Mike McDade as he hit it off the top of the fence.
Shortstop Dean Wilson.
The Barnstormers are hitting some balls very, very hard tonight. My question is, which was longer, Bell's double in the first inning or his home run in the third? It's almost impossible to compare the two.
Good question.
Two outs. Here's Dean Wilson, a strikeout victim first time up, and he looks at a pitch for a strike here. 0-1. 6-0 Lancaster. McDade, the runner at first. The Barnstormers over these last 3 hitters have had some tough luck. Wilson pops this up, might stay in play. Sprinting in Perez, over goes to Hayda, and the ball lands just in front of the Lancaster dugout, giving Wilson life at 0-2. But Jacobs reaches on the error. If Aaron's ball clears Chavez, McDade's ball off the right field wall is going to drive in a run, probably. And there's still nobody out in the inning.
Exactly.
0-2 on Wilson in the dirt, saved by Tejeda. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. The Barnstormers are up here this evening by the score of 6-0.
Yeah, I think the last bat by Mike McDade, he was saying, Mr. Chavez, you are not getting your glove on this ball, and I'm getting on base, and we're going to do some damage to you.
Fouled away by Wilson. It is still a ball and 2 strikes. Barnstormers up by 6. Here's the 1-2 to Wilson. He lays off again. It's in the dirt and outside. Tejeda making a good play. I've been very impressed in this series, not to say I hadn't been previously, but I've especially taken notice of how agile Isaias Tejeda is in back of the plate.
Yeah, again, that's little things that you pick up on from up here that you see. Little things that aren't in the box score in the game, but makes a pitcher's friend.
2-2 to Wilson. He lofts a fly ball out toward right center field. Witherspoon will call off Mitchell and make the catch. That'll end it, but it's a productive inning for the Barnstormers. 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and there was 1 runner left on base. We're done with 3 tonight. Here on Prince Street, it is Lancaster 6, York nothing.
Hey kids, thanks to Isaacs, you can be part of the Barnstormers. The Isaacs Barnyard Bunch is quite a deal. You get lawn vouchers for 6 games, 6 kids park passes, the chance to go on the field with your Barnstormers during the national anthem on 2 different nights, and a Barnyard Bunch t-shirt. But there's more. Any Barnyard Bunch member will get 2 vouchers for kids meals at your favorite Lancaster County Isaacs Deli. You get all of this for only $25. Even better, if you sign up at your local Isaacs, you save $5 more. So join the Barnyard Bunch today.
It's baseball season, and no one is more excited about that than we here at Lancaster Bible College, proud sponsor of Lancaster Barnstormers baseball. At Lancaster Bible College, you can earn your associate's, bachelor's, master's, seminary, or doctoral degrees through a distinctly biblical lens in areas like leadership, communication, business administration, social work, education, pastoral studies, music, and many more. Find out how you can take the next step in your educational journey to earn a degree from LBC. Visit us on the web at lbc.edu. We look forward to seeing you at Barnstormers games this season.
6 runs on 8 hits with no errors. The Barnstormers have left 3. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and a couple of men left by the York Revolution so far in the game tonight. Isaias Tejeda, the catcher, leads off the 4th against Joe Gardner.
Leading off the 4th inning for the Revolution, the catcher, Isaias Tejeda.
Revolution.
Tejeda will step in. He was retired on a ground out. The third baseman, Josh Bell, back in the 1st inning. Bell's in the top 7 in the Atlantic League in home runs. He's there with Zach Wilson of Southern Maryland, tied for 6th. To Tejeda, first pitch strike, it is 0-1. Gardner works well with a lead. I applauded him for this at Sugar Land. Lancaster staked him to a 3-0 lead early, gave up 11 hits in that game, but never walked anybody and never allowed Sugar Land to put together a big inning to catch up. They kind of nickeled and dimed him here and there. He ended up giving up 4, but the lead never was really surrendered.
Yeah, he's a very rhythm pitcher too. He gets in that rhythm. He pitches with the lead, so he knows, hey, I can throw strikes, I can challenge these hitters. And when you get into that rhythm where your team has backed you up offensively, it makes a world of difference.
Ball 1 and 2 strikes, the count on Tejeda. Gardner comes back, brings it home, and this ball is clocked out the left center field. Racing back is Gindel, and he's not going to get there. That ball will jump over the wall. It is a ground rule double for Tejeda, as apparently they rubberized the warning track at some point today. It's the second one we have seen. Leadoff man in scoring position, and Andres Perez, the first baseman, coming in. Playing a day-night doubleheader at Bridgeport. The Bluefish won the opener 6-4 over the Somerset Patriots. Somerset up 2-0 in the top half of the third inning in game 2. And all Somerset needs to do is win tonight, and they will stay in great shape. New Britain in a 1-1 tie at Southern Maryland in the third. Long Island and Sugar Land just about to get started in Texas. Runner at second base here. Boy, Tejeda has been tremendous in this league and went to the Atlanta organization, played in single A and didn't do well. It puzzles me. To Perez, fouled back, out of play, 0-1.
Yeah, you could see the reaction from Joe Gardner out there. He was up 1-2, and he knew he hung that one, and it just didn't drop like he wanted it to. As soon as that swing was made, you could see his head go down, and say, geez.
Gindel has had to chase several back in that vicinity in this ballpark against York. They're home runs in York. Pitch is low, 1-1. They're home runs a lot of places, but not here. It's deeper than 400 out there just to the left of straightaway center field.
Yeah, that's our version
out there last night.
Our version of Death Valley out there.
1 ball, 1 strike to Perez. Here's the pitch. Last towards short. 1 hop by Wilson, who fumbles, throws, and pulls Hobson off the bag. Runners safe at first and second. An error will be charged to Wilson, and that's rare. He had that play right in front of him. It was going to be 1 out, runner at second base. And then when he went to stop his momentum, make the throw, he simply dropped the ball.
Yeah, we were talking before the game, Dave and I, about how great a glove he has and how a strong arm he has. So you're exactly right. You don't see that often.
Now York is set up for a comeback with runners at first and second, nobody out. Here in the 6th inning, Michael Rocket gets jammed and fouls a Gardner pitch back into the net. No balls and a strike. Rocket fouled out to first baseman Casey Hobson in the 2nd inning. Lancaster up 6-0 here in the 4th. Gardner has to shrug off the error. To Rocket, fouled to the right. 0-2.
And as we've talked about before, I mean, as you well know, there's in this league, as long as, you know, as well as the major leagues, you have pitchers that are fly ball pitchers, pitchers that are strikeout pitchers. The one nice thing that we can hopefully enjoy is that we can get another ground ball and get a double play out of this. That's the one nice thing. If Joe's on, he can get us a lot of those.
Rocket batting, no balls, 2 strikes. Gardner comes set. The pitch is pulled out into left center. Soft line drive in for a base hit. Tejeda is being sent. The throw will go to third, and it's 6-1.
There's a good piece of hitting from Michael Rocket, a .301 batter this year. Didn't get the pitch he wanted, but got that bat out there and just blooped it over the head of Dean Wilson.
Michael Burgess will come to the plate. Burgess with a ground ball base hit into right field back in the 2nd inning. The York Revolution, an explosive offense on a comeback path here in the 4th inning, and Gardner's got to find a way to shut it down. That run will be earned. Tejeda would have been at second base anyway. Here's the pitch to Michael Burgess, inside and low, ball 1 and no strikes. Gardner has gotten out of his rhythm here in the 4th inning. Perez at second, Rocket aboard at first. Gardner's pitch, skied out the left. Trayvon Robinson starts back, now over toward his left. He is there to make the catch. Burgess with an unproductive out. First and second, 1 away. Brian Pounds will come in. Pounds grounded into the double play back in the 2nd inning, and Gardner certainly wouldn't mind a repeat.
The third baseman, Brian Pounds.
When you've got a 6-0 lead, you don't really mind giving up 1 run. You just don't want to give up the big inning. And York still has it in the works, but that fly out helps.
Absolutely, and you saw that with Caleb Gindel and that arm he has. I thought he might come home because I think he might have had him. But, again, you're playing with a 6-run lead. Don't let the runners move up.
Hopper down the third base line, gets away from Bell. He went to make a backhanded play on the second hop. This is going to score Perez. It is going to score Rocket. Pounds ends up at second base, and it's 6-3. There have been some tricky hops along that third base line all homestand, and Bell just got another one.
Now batting the shortstop, Josh Wilson.
6-3 ball game, and York all of a sudden is in it. A 2-run double for Brian Pounds, and that looked initially playable for Bell. I thought it was going to be at least a force out at second, and then the ball did something bizarre. I can't even tell you what, but it looked like it may have hopped. It certainly jumped where he didn't expect it to.
Yeah,
ball for a strike at his 0-1.
You saw that, and he took a step forward thinking, I think originally he was going to charge that thing and take it before it hopped, then the realization that this is going to come down, then the funny bounce, and it just all went wrong.
Now to Wilson, a roller foul for a second strike at his 0-2. York is halfway back here tonight. 3 hits in the inning and an error.
And how many times have we said over the years, my friend, that no lead is safe at Clipper Magazine Stadium?
But it hasn't been the long ball to right that has produced this inning. 0-2, the count to Wilson. Gardner will step off. But 2 ground balls that haven't been played have really hurt.
Yeah, 2 different style of getting runs tonight. We're using the long ball, the long flies, and with the exception of the 1 hit over Caleb Gindel, these have all been these tricky little ground balls that are just sneaking through.
Swing and a miss. That looked like a frustrated version of Joe Gardner, and he gets his first strikeout. So 2 runs will be earned this inning. The batter will be the second baseman, Brandon Chavez. Chavez crunched a double over Gindel's head back in the 3rd inning. You look at Rocket, off balance, weight forward, just lifting the ball over the head of the shortstop, Dean Wilson. It's a great piece of hitting for Michael Rocket. The 1 error, the ground ball that played tricks on Bell. Now a fastball good for a strike on Chavez. It's 0-1.
And, you know, we talk about the advantage of the ground ball, but on the other side, that's where a strikeout pitcher comes into play, that when you need an out and you want to get it without putting that ball in play, that's a big advantage.
Off speed, swing and a miss. He has Chavez, 0-2. Lancaster 6, York 3. Top half of the 4th inning. Lancaster needs to win just 1 out of 2 to keep the Community Cup for next year. York needs to win both. 0-2, ground ball, slowly hit, left side, tough play Wilson. He's got to get rid of it quickly, and that pulls Hobson off the bag. Runners are safe at 1st and 3rd, and you get Travis Witherspoon coming to the plate.
Center fielder Travis Witherspoon.
This also, as tough of an inning as this has been for Joe Gardner, it's been an equally tough inning for official scorer Joel Schreiner. They'll give Chavez a base hit there. And now Witherspoon steps in. He is 0 for 2. I would say the ball hit by Perez is a clear error. The 1 hit by Pounds could have gone either way. That one could have gone either way. And now Gardner has to get Witherspoon. Joe's pitch angles across. That is strike 1.
And I think what's really frustrating as Barnstormer fans here is Joey's getting ahead of most of these guys. He's ahead 1-2, 0-2. He was ahead 0-2 on the last count. And Mr. Chavez, again, gets it on the ground, puts it in play, and things happen when you put the ball in play.
0-1 to Witherspoon. The pitch, fastball runs outside. Ball 1, strike 1. With Pounds at 3rd, Chavez at 1st, and Witherspoon, who's got some good pop and has been known to hit a home run or 2 in this ballpark, is the tying run in the 4th inning. And it's just happened abruptly to Joe Gardner, who was in complete control through 3. 1-1. And a Witherspoon a little bit inside, make it 2 balls and a strike. You've got the left-handed batting Jared Mitchell waiting on deck.
And we had 1 strikeout this inning, but boy, these are the situations where you're having all these little bounces and tough plays that you just really want to lean back and hope you get that another K to get out of this inning.
Here's a 2-1, stays high, 3 balls and a strike on Witherspoon. Gardner, I think, felt he was out of this inning with that Chavez ground ball. Wilson may have misjudged the speed a bit. Hobson came off first base to handle that throw. Now ball 4 is outside and low, and the bases are loaded for Mitchell. Ninth man to step in here in the 4th inning. And we're going to have a mound visit. And this is Ross Peoples on his way out. Butch isn't taking the night off, but he is letting Rich manage the ball club, which means Ross is the pitching coach. And Butch is observing.
Yeah, and I think this visit is definitely one of these visits Ross knows as a player. He knows as a coach in here, it's short-term memory, as we say in any sport. Hey, forget about it. They haven't hit you hard. Had a few tough breaks. Let's, get through it, get over it. We've got 2 outs. We were 1 batter from getting out of this inning. Let's not get your head down and turn this into a big problem.
And we do have a scoring change. Chavez not given a base hit. That's now an E6. So a second error charged to Dean Wilson this inning. Now the bases are loaded. The right fielder Jared Mitchell stepping in. He has grounded out twice. No matter which way you slice it, a tough inning. And the Mitchell fastball up and away, 1-0. Gardner's gotten out of sorts as the defense is let down behind him. He's got to find a way to get an out here.
You have to get it now because you have your number 3 and 4 hitters sitting there, and Mr. Tejade's hit the ball well tonight.
Fly ball center field. This should do it. Caleb Gindel is underneath to make the catch, and the inning is kept at 3. It is 3 runs on 3 hits with 2 errors. York strands 3, and we'll go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It is 6-3 in favor of the Barnstormers.
Once again, thank you, Lancaster. With your support, we are once again the #1 dealer in our district, according to a recent Mitsubishi report. Hi, this is Richard Bennett, co-owner of Lancaster Mitsubishi. To continue our success through the month of May, Ally Financial is offering 0% financing for up to 72 months on select models. And don't forget, with over 25 different lenders and rebates and incentives from Mitsubishi, we can put you into a brand new car with absolutely 0 money down. And if you purchase a vehicle from us in the month of May, Lancaster Mitsubishi has partnered with the Lancaster Barnstormers to give you tickets to the Lancaster Mitsubishi Suite. So Lancaster, make your way to Lancaster Mitsubishi and become part of our story. As always, all sales come with our famous LLM Club, lifetime state safety inspections and car washes as long as you own the vehicle. We are located on the corner of McGovern Avenue and North Prince Street next to the train station. You know we have what you deserve. Two of those 3 runs in the top of the inning will be earned. And now
top of the order for the Barnstormers in the bottom half of inning number 4. Caleb Gendel, Trayvon Robinson, and Casey Hobson will be the hitters. Simmons into the motion, and he is inside to Gendel, ball 1, and maybe a good thing because I don't know Josh Wilson was set at shortstop or not. He hustled over there and was in place right about the time the pitch was cut loose. There's a jam shot that'll be played one hop by Wilson, and the throw will cut down Gendel. He's out 6-3, and Robinson will step in. Trayvon with a home run and a walk.
Tough night for the Caleb Gendel bats. That's second straight at bat that the bat has broken.
He is just not getting around on these pitchers like he wants to. It looks like the bat feels like a telephone pole. And hitters will go through those stretches. There's a line drive by Trayvon Robinson, who is not in one of those stretches, and he's got a one-out single. I mean, that guy is on fire right now. 9th hit of the game for the Barnstormers. Speaking of on fire, here's Casey Hobson. Robinson 8 out of his last 13. And we gave you the numbers earlier for Trayvon on the homestand. He is now 12 for 29. Hobson tonight is 1 for 2. On the current homestand, he's 11 for 33 with 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in, which is nothing compared to the last homestand. 1 out, runner at first base. Robinson bluffs, doesn't go, and the pitch to Hobson is low, ball 1 and no strikes. But if you're York and specifically Simmons and Tehater, you're kind of caught in between here. You know Robinson's a threat to go, so you're going to want to throw fastballs to Hobson, but we'll see what develops. On deck is Bell, who's just murdered 2 pitches tonight. Hobson awaits the 1-0, in on the hands, foul to the top of the screen. It is 1-1.
Now there was the perfect pitch that he wants. He, as you said, he knows he has to get that ball to the plate quickly because of the speed. He has to respect the speed, but that was inside where KC couldn't extend those arms and really hit it well.
Throw goes to first, and Perez has to reach up for it. Robinson back in underneath. Trayvon has 23 steals. He had 3 in the doubleheader last night. Hobson awaits the 1-1 throw, will go to first base once more.
Yeah, I think he saw him. He was out there about an extra step on that lead of what he was doing earlier. So I think James is saying, hey, I see you. I'm going to keep you over there as tight as I can.
And another throw. Tag slapped on by Perez. And Robinson gets a timeout so he can dust himself off. I think he got a little bit of stadium dirt inside the britches there. 1 ball and 1 strike, and that will happen. Just ask Steve Lyons. Who will ever forget that photo? Oh, jeez. As much as we may try. Another throw to first base.
How much longer are we supposed to wait here? Until something happens?
Robinson at first with 1 out. Simmons very intent on keeping Trayvon Robinson close. There's another throw. Robinson stole third base in the first inning last night, and he stole second in the first and the 6th last night. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hobson. Simmons ready to go. Robinson takes off. The pitch a breaking ball, and there will be no throw. Ball 2 inside. And the whole series of events draws a standing ovation for part of the Barnstormers crowd after Simmons throws over there 5 times. Robinson gives him the ultimate in your ear and takes off on the pitch to the plate and steals second easily. 2-1. The count on Casey Hobson. Simmons ready to go. And KC gets ball 3 inside. Do they really want to deal with Bell? not the way he's been hitting the ball. And I'll tell you, I can appreciate that
Trayvon what he's thinking, because, you know, I've hit leadoff for years and stole a lot of bases, and there's nothing better than having someone send you over there and get you dirty for 5 pitches, and then the next one you just thumb your nose and say, I got you anyway.
3-1, and ball 4 is inside to Hobson. Bell will once again bat with 2 men on. He has crushed a double off the batter's eye tonight, and he has homered well beyond the tenths and right. James Simmons and Isaias Tejeda need to go to Plan C.
Yeah, these aren't the guys.
Have not worked.
No, I was just getting ready to say, these are the guys that they haven't done a very good job in getting out, and you have some real power right here with Bell hitting now, and right behind him is Mr. Halton.
Robinson at second, Hobson at first. Bell dinging in against Simmons. The set, the pitch, and it's lined at Chavez, and he's going to double off Robinson from second base. And that is the second inning in a row that there has been a line drive double play at Brandon Chavez, and it takes the Barnstormers right out of the inning. Again, Bell, absolutely a wicked line drive, flagged by the second baseman Chavez. The Barnstormers run themselves out of the inning, and we've got a ball game. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave just 1. We're going to the 5th inning. It is 6-3 Lancaster.
The birthday today of Milton Hershey.
The Federal Tap House is a great place to stop by after a Barnstormers game and continue your enjoyable evening in downtown Lancaster. Featuring 100 beers on tap, including many craft beers from here in Central PA, the Federal Tap House has something for everyone's palate, not to mention a full bar and elegant wine selection for the non-beer geeks in the group. For the entire lineup of brews, check online at federaltaphouse.com. That's at Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street, just blocks from Clipper Magazine Stadium, or at their other location in Harrisburg.
To see if the Lexus NX is right for you, eliminate one word from each of the following: style or substance, utility or agility, capable or captivating. Can't decide? Fortunately, this is the luxury crossover that goes beyond utility, meaning the only word you have to eliminate is or. The Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once driven, there's no going back. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Into the 5th inning we go. Here's Isaias Tejeda, who led off the 3-run 4th inning for York with a ground rule double to left center. Pitched to him here, cut out and missed. It is 0-1. Joe Gardner threw only 17 pitches the first 2 innings. He's had to labor a lot more the last 2. Well, the Barnstormers were guilty of 2 errors in back of them that prolonged the 4th inning. To Tejeda, swing and a miss. Gardner's ahead 0-2. Then you look at the line drive double plays off the bats of Aarons and Bell. If those do not occur, the Barnstormers have probably blown this game wide open right now.
Absolutely. We were just talking, Brandon Chavez has been the focus of a lot of attention tonight with his bat and his glove.
The 0-2, fastball by Tejeda, swing and a miss. Now I have to wonder, because Gardner just gave him 3 high fastballs right there, if that's not the way to get Tejeda, and nobody has really discovered it this year, why he's hit well over 360 in this league, and maybe why he didn't succeed as well in the Carolina League, where you've got the young hard throwers who really maybe don't know what they're doing. I'll have to check that out as we go, because the Barnstormers have had fits with Tejeda all season. Breaking ball for a strike at his 0-1. The Atlantic League is more of a breaking ball league.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I was sitting here thinking the same thing. I mean, I don't think we've seen him tonight throw 3 fastballs, especially ones up in the zone like that.
Breaking ball to Perez, bouncer toward the hole. That is through for a base hit. Now, if you talk to the Barnstormers coaching staff, and I have to agree with them, having watched 134 and a half Barnstormers games this year, the Barnstormers have, over the course of the season, without question, and you can see it in the microcosm of the game tonight, hit the ball harder than their opponents have. But the seeing eye base hits, the infield singles have just accumulated. And what do you see the Barnstormers do? Line drive double plays. Popped up, foul out of play by Rocket. He signaled in a run last inning. 1 out, 1 on. The Barnstormers, with the exception of the very top of the order, the very bottom of the order, they've killed the ball tonight. You can't say anything otherwise. They have killed the ball.
And you're exactly right. I think that's the story of the year. And it's sitting down there behind Josh Bell. I've never seen that poor guy have to run in on so many little balls
There's
this
a
year.
one hopper to Bell. He'll go to Aarons for one. Back to first has no chance. Rocket safe on the fielder's choice. Perez forced 5-4, 2 outs. Michael Burgess stepping in. Burgess with a single and a fly out to left.
Yeah, there was a ball that could have went south too, because Josh appeared to have a little trouble getting it out of his glove and knew he had to get that dip ball to second real quick to get the force. No chance of getting Michael. I mean, he runs well, so can't do anything there.
Rocket has 8 steals on the year. He inches his way off first. Gardner to the plate. Burgess looks at ball 1 off the outside corner. It is 1-0. Players like Michael Rocket, as far as I'm concerned, are indispensable in the Atlantic League. You can put him at second, third, anywhere in the outfield. And he's so good defensively, and this year he's had his best season at the plate. Fastball catches the outside corner. Burgess bats at 1-1. There's a debate. Who's the best glove in the Atlantic League? Most people will say Dan Lyons, and he's a fantastic shortstop, and I don't want to take anything away from Dan. But Rocket does it at 4 different positions with pretty equal aplomb. Foul ball back, it is 1-2, and that's why I tend to put Rocket just a notch ahead, is because I've watched him in center and at second and left, and he makes great defensive plays wherever he's stationed out there.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I would say the same thing. I mean, I've played outfield for years, and the couple times I've had to come in the infield, it's been an adventure. It's 2 different ways of seeing the ball, and for him to do it well, that's impressive. I mean, it's such a tough thing to do. Is, you know, a couple places in the outfield, left field, center field, you can adjust to that, but infield and outfield, no, that's 2 different frames of mind. He does it well.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Burgess. Rocket, the runner at first base with 2 gone. Gardner comes to the set and the pitch. Fooled him with a changeup, got him to swing and miss. For Joe Gardner, that is strikeout number 3. No runs on 1 hit with no errors, and there was a runner left. We're halfway through regulation tonight, through 4 1/2 innings. The score, the Lancaster Barnstormers 6 and the York Revolution 3.
Hi everyone, Adam Gocknauer here from Gocknauer Appliances, proud to be a sponsor yet again for our hometown Lancaster Barnstormers. We support them on the field and every one of you across Lancaster County with the very best appliances in the area. We are proud to be in our 67th year and 4 generations of family ownership, all to serve you and take care of all your appliance needs. Come see us at 5939 Main Street in East Petersburg or on our website at gocknauers.com.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
Sean Halton leads off the home half of the fifth inning. He has doubled and homered in the game tonight. 2 runs batted in for Sean. He's been such a monster at the plate for the better part of this season. Now it just shows up in spurts, such as tonight. But the man has 53 extra base hits. He is among the top 3 in the league in on-base percentage, or not slugging percentage, I should say. First pitch, a sidearm delivery. It is 0-1. Every inning, Simmons looks like a different guy out there. It's like he's doing impersonations of other pitchers, inning by inning. Halton awaits the 0-1. Sidearm again. Looped foul to the right and out of play. It's 0-2.
Well, maybe, he's probably looking at this saying, these guys are really hitting me hard, so let's give them a different angle, a different look, a different trajectory, see what happens. Maybe I'll find something here I can use for another inning or so.
Jacobs waiting on deck. Halton being played to hit to the opposite field. The pitch smoked into left. Base hit. And now Halton just needs the triple for the cycle. Who was the selection tonight, Adam?
I will find out. I was actually thinking that same thing, but with you up here earlier and preparing for the game, I didn't get to hear it. So I will check and let you know.
Wouldn't it be something if Halton were the selection and he doubled on his last at bat, the triple taken away from him? With the ruling, they had a ground rule double back in the first inning. Anyway, leadoff man is on. The Barnstormers record their 10th hit. Here is Mike Jacobs. He has struck out and reached on an error. The Simmons offering is outside. Ball 1 and no strikes. Bell and Halton and Robinson, those 3 guys have tortured the right-hander tonight. Comebacker, up with it is Simmons. He'll go to second for 1, back to first. And they'll double up Jacobs on a slow bounder back toward the hill. 1-6-3 on the double play. 2 outs. Kevin Ahrens will come to the plate. Ahrens is 1 for 2. Ahrens is singled and lined into a double play. Mike McDade waiting on deck. The pitch, line drive, base hit center field for Ahrens. So again, the question is, as you watch this game tonight, how on earth do the Barnstormers only have 6 runs? But it's the way the season's gone. Double plays each of the last 3 innings. 2 on line drives.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We've been hitting the ball extremely hard, and just seeing this, if you didn't look at the scoreboard and you take out those double plays, we're definitely in double digits.
Mike McDade, the batter, he has reached on a fielder's choice on a line drive, and he is singled off the top of the wall in right field. Pitch over at the knees, strike 1. Man, the Barnstormers have launched an all-out assault in this game, and York's still in it. Here comes the 0-1. McDade can't pull the trigger, and the breaking ball reaches the inside corner for a second strike.
And just to let you know, I was checking on the person that's hitting for the cycle tonight for the $25,000, and it was not Sean Halton. So no conspiracy theories here or anything to worry about.
Fly ball down the left field line. Long run rocket, and he will get there. The ball hung up too long for Mike McDade. So it's no runs, 2 hits with no errors, 1 man left on base. At the end of 5 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster still on top, 6-3.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
The Sugarland Skeeters may be rooting for the Lancaster Barnstormers tonight, but the Liberty Division probably all wants York to win to set up the possibility of a wild card spot. Now, Bridgeport won earlier today 6-4 at home against Somerset. That was the day portion of the day-night doubleheader. Tonight, in the 9-inning game, Somerset leads 3-2 in the top half of the 5th inning. Bridgeport, with a doubleheader sweep, could pull within 2 of the Patriots, and the Barnstormers would have to go play spoiler this weekend. Here's a pitch, Gardner to Brian Pounds. That's in the zone for a strike, 0-1. Pounds is grounded into a double play, and he has doubled home 2 runs on a ball that eluded Josh Bell down the third baseline, and we're not exactly certain how. High fly ball, well foul at a crooked angle down the third baseline. It is 0-2. Meanwhile, New Britain leads Southern Maryland tonight 3-1 in the 5th inning. And Sugarland on a Jeremy Barfield home run has tied Long Island. It is 2-2 into the 2nd inning. A lot still to be decided in the Atlantic League. 0-2, swing and a miss. Pounds goes down quickly. Joe Gardner racks up strikeout number 4. Josh Wilson coming in. He was the first of those 4. Wilson has struck out and lined to left.
There was a nice sinker ball right there. You could see that thing just die and go outside. So not a very good swing at all put on there by Brian Pounds.
Gardner ready to go, and to Wilson. Metten fouled back to the screen. It is no balls and a strike. For anybody who has seen the York Revolution in these blue uniforms, which they wear more often than not, and they're trying to figure out the design. Those are special 10th anniversary edition uniforms, this being the 10th season of the Revs. Swing and a miss. On the back, the design is actually the names of all the guys who have played for the Revolution over the years. And the numbers is actually a collage of photographs of fans.
Wow, okay. I was looking at that earlier, and I saw pictures, but I did not know that.
And until you see them up close, you don't realize exactly what that design is. Here's the 0-2 on Wilson. Check swing. Did he go? He did not, says John Harrington at his ball 1. 1-2 pitch was down and away.
Not only are you a pro in sports, but now you have a little of that Bravo network fashion thing going too, Dave.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. I just have seen them up close in the clubhouse. I had to check it out. We were with one of the Blue Ridge 11 telecasts this year. They were able to zoom in on the uniforms, and I was able to make out some of it. And then in the clubhouse while they were drying the next day, I looked, and that's exactly what you see.
Folks, this is why you tune in to hear Mr. Collins. You will learn something every single game.
Gardner to Chavez. Ball 1 is low, 1-0. Brandon Chavez, you're right, he's been in the middle of everything. He has doubled, he's reached on an error. He has taken a line drive off the glove in the side of the face, but still gotten an out, and he's caught 2 line drives and turned them into double plays. Fastball for a strike, it is 1-1. The Chavezes and the Rockets have really built this York ball club. They've got some marquee guys, but it's players like that, the Atlantic League veterans, that have really helped the cause of the Revs this year. The Revs with the best overall record in the Atlantic League this season, and yet the Barnstormers have a better run differential than York does. Again, a season that simply refuses to add up. The math does not work. 1-2, and a Chavez. It's in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just like the Barnstormers only having 6 runs in this game tonight. With 11 hits in 5 innings, including 3 home runs, 2 doubles, a stolen base. Ball 3 missing inside to Chavez, 3-2. A couple of walks thrown in, and 1 error.
And hopefully by the end of the night, a little piece of satisfaction after this year that we can retain that Community Cup.
Here's the payoff to Chavez. Line drive and foul past third. Whistled out there, but the third base umpire, Brian DeBrouwer, had an easy call as the ball sailed past him to his right. He knew it was foul, unless it was somehow on a physically impossible path. 3-2. Chavez swings and misses. Gardner strikes out the side in the 6th inning. Not his normal form, but Joe will take it. Nothing across in the top of the 6th. We're through 5.5 tonight. Lancaster leading York by a score of 6-3.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, the long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
What's more exhilarating than playing the new Million in an Instant game with top prizes of $1 million? Winning on the spot.
Woo-hoo! I won!
So if you can't wait to win, then don't wait to play. Million in an Instant from the Pennsylvania Lottery for a chance to win up to $1 million on the spot. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Keep on scratching. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Here's Dean Wilson to get things underway for the Barnstormers in the bottom of the 6th. Dean has struck out and fly to center in the ball game tonight. He'll be followed by Gindel and Robinson. 9-1-2 in the Lancaster batting order. First pitch cut on and missed. It is 0-1. Barnstormers have amassed 11 hits in the ball game tonight. 22 total bases. Wilson, line drive, he's got a base hit into center field. Another loud hit for the Barnstormers in this game. They haven't had many quiet ones.
No, not at all. And there you saw James Simmons kind of drop down again and try that little sidearm motion, but Dean read it and hit it beautifully up the middle.
Yeah, he may be experimenting with some things, getting ready for the postseason, maybe winter ball. To Caleb Gindel, it is outside, ball 1-0. Gindel tonight 0 for 3. He has popped to short, fly to center, and grounded to short. And it's kind of looked like he's tried to pull those and hasn't been able to get around so easily. The 1-0, strike taken on the outside corner on an off-speed pitch. It is 1-1. around Major League Baseball on a busy Tuesday. The Pirates and the Phils are square at 1. Bottom of the 6th inning. Mets lead Washington 3-1. Throw to first base. Wilson has 1 steal. He's back in standing.
I'm waiting.
They're at Nats Park tonight. Miami 5, Atlanta 3, top of the 5th. Caleb Gindel batting 1-1. He shows bunt. They'll appeal to the third base umpire who says he drew it back in time. Ball 2 was outside. It is 2-1. Nobody throwing in the York bullpen. York is definitely trying to get set up for next week. But they don't know yet if they'll be playing Tuesday or Wednesday in game 1. Foul ball back. What makes it a little trickier for Mark Mason. If they play Sugar Land, it would be Tuesday. They'll have used Monday as a travel day and Thursday as a travel day back. If it's New Britain, the series will start on Wednesday up in Connecticut. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Caleb Gindel. Here is the set, and that's way outside and low, trying a breaking ball, and it just couldn't curl back. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Caleb. Lancaster up 6-3, bottom of the 6th inning. And it still could be Somerset.
That's true, yeah.
It still could be Somerset going to York. Here's the payoff pitch. Ground ball toward the middle. That's a base hit into center. Wilson is going to race toward third, and there will be a throw, but it's late. I didn't even think Witherspoon would try to cut down Wilson at third. He made that throw and pulled Pounds several feet out the third baseline. Gindel with the single up the middle. Runners are at the corners. And the Barnstormers now own 13 hits off of Simmons. And we are approaching a franchise record. And it's certainly worth noting because nobody is warming up in the York bullpen.
Yeah, and as you said, you can definitely tell they're preparing for the future here because the way this game has gone for York with us hitting the tar out of the ball, you think by now someone would be up.
Trayvon Robinson stands in with men at the corners. The pitch is a strike on the outer edge. It is 0-1. First and third, Lancaster looking to break it open here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 0-1 to Robinson. High fly ball, left center field. Sprinting back is Rocket. He will set up to make the catch. Wilson is going to tag and head home. Tagging and making the trip to second base is Gindel. He upends Chavez, who handles the throw. Robinson with a sacrifice fly drives in his second run tonight. Again, hit that ball pretty well. It's now 7-3. Gindel ahead to second. Casey Hobson will come to the plate. Hobson is 1 for 2 with a run scored in the game. The most hits given up by an opposing pitcher, 15. It has happened twice. The last time the Barnstormers did it was against Long Island's Chris McCoy on August the 26th of 2013. Simmons stands at 13 here tonight. Hobson at the plate with Bell on deck.
One little piece there, I mean, we talked about, but good base running by Caleb Gindel. Seeing that ball, the left fielder going backwards to catch it and knew he could get over to second without being challenged too terribly much.
Ball is outside to Hobson, 1-0. Earlier this year, Lancaster did a number on York's Tony Pena and won 14-1 behind Terry Doyle. Here's the 1-0, and Hobson gets nailed. Simmons yanked that pitch across. Casey Hobson hit by that pitch and makes the trip to first base. Josh Bell will come to the plate again with runners on. Bell has murdered 3 baseballs tonight. The last one, he lined into a double play with a diving catch by Chavez, who had very little time to react to it. He was also doubled and homered. Bell digs in with runners at first and second.
Yeah, I don't think Mr. Simmons wants to see this part of the lineup right now.
Ground ball up the middle, base hit center field. Gindel is being sent. Witherspoon's got a good arm. That throw, though, is offline, and he misses the cutoff man. Bell, an RBI base hit. It is now 8-3, and Sean Halton, who is 3 for 3, comes to the plate. Can he hit for the cycle? He does need the triple, as would-be triple slightly bounced over the fence.
Right fielder Sean
In right center field, back in the first inning.
Well, if nothing else, the York Revolution bullpen is awful interested in what's going on in the dugout, because I think every one of them is looking down there wondering, all right, how long is this going to continue?
Barnstormers got 14 hits and 4 1/3 off of Pena. First pitch strike in on Halton, it's 0-1. And tonight, they have 14 hits in 5 1/3 innings off of Simmons. Halton batting, Mike Jacobs on deck, first and second with 1 out. Lancaster leading by 5. Here's the set, and Halton, a fly ball foul down the right field side. Up toward the deck, it is 0-2. Halton's home run tonight was barely fair and traveled maybe 305 feet. But he'll take it. The double was hit a whole heck of a lot better.
And on a side note, here we are in the bottom of the 6th, and I think James probably somewhere close to that 100-pitch mark already. High 90s, I would say.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Now Halton will need another chance to hit for the cycle tonight. Simmons strikes out his 4th. Jacobs will step in. He is 0 for 3.
Mike Jacobs.
Jacobs has struck out, reached on an error, and tapped back to the mound in a double play. Simmons with 98 pitches in the game. A lot of those soaked up in the 3rd inning. 3 singles, a sacrifice fly, and a hit batsman here. Now Simmons goes to work on Jacobs, and the first pitch is low, ball 1. Kevin Ahrens waits on deck. Jacobs, the only man in the lineup without a hit in the game. Bell and Halton each have 3, each needing the triple for the cycle. Swing and a miss by Jacobs, fooled on an off-speed pitch. It is 1-1. Trayvon Robinson's had a heck of a night.
It will be interesting to see if James comes out in the 7th, because I actually did see a catcher wander down to the Revolution bullpen, so we'll see if they get anyone started for the 7th.
Breaking ball twirls back to the outside corner, and Jacobs has to have that "why me" reaction. 1-2. With Hobson at second and Bell at first. Jacobs with a game-winning home run against Bridgeport over the weekend. Had a game-winning sac fly at Sugar Land, their last road trip. Here comes the 1-2, skied to left, and potentially difficult. Pounds going back, Rocket coming in. Michael Rocket just gets everywhere. Didn't he start that play in center field?
A couple of them now he came over for.
2-run score, 3 hits in the inning with no errors. The Barnstormers strand a pair. We're at the end of 6 innings of play tonight. It is 8-3 in favor of the
And we have
Barnstormers.
armed them all with rubber tickets. It's time for our wing play.
It's baseball season, and no one is more excited about that than we here at Lancaster Bible College, proud sponsor of Lancaster Barnstormers baseball. At Lancaster Bible College, you can earn your associate's, bachelor's, master's, seminary, or doctoral degrees through a distinctly biblical lens in areas like leadership, communication, business administration, social work, education, pastoral studies, music, and many more. Find out how you can take the next step in your educational journey to earn a degree from LBC. Visit us on the web at lbc.edu. We look forward to seeing you at Barnstormers games this season.
It's nice out and you just want to relax after a day at work. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great idea. For Monday through Thursday home games, the Barnstormers have super dinner and a ball game deals at Clipper Magazine Stadium. On Monday, join us for an all-you-can-eat pork barbecue dinner in the Hess's Picnic Pavilion, or choose chicken on Tuesday, all for just $20, including your game ticket. And new on Monday, it's pizza, beer, and pinball all night long. Then on Wednesdays, it's Hatfield hot dogs for just $1 each, with 2-for-1 burgers on Thursdays. Call 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com for more details.
Here's Travis Witherspoon facing Joe Gardner as we embark upon the 7th inning. Gardner's first pitch, inside to Witherspoon. It is 1-0. Travis open 2 with a walk tonight. That's the lone walk given up by Gardner. 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. Joe's walked 1, struck out 6. He's had 1 rough inning. Breaking ball gets there. A strike called, 1-1. A little bit of difficulty in the second. Got out of it with a double play. Gave up a 1-out double in the third. Got 2 ground balls. The 4th inning, though, was toxic. Here's the 1-1. Tap foul. It is 1-2.
And it looks like, as stated last inning, is that Michael Click out there warming up in the Revolution bullpen right now?
Well, they have someone. I don't think it is Click. He started last night. Chopper, shortstop. Wilson has to gun it across. He's got Witherspoon. 1 out here in the 7th.
Yeah, that's one where you know that you have a guy with wheels, you get that ball and you release it quick.
1 man retired, and Jared Mitchell will step in. There isn't one guy downstairs who has a bad thing to say about Dean Wilson. He has handled himself very well as a young player, just sitting there soaking it all up. He's been a very good shortstop. It wasn't the intent to have a guy who spent about a month last year in the Frontier League coming in here as the everyday shortstop, but it's the way it's broken down, and he's done so well defensively. He's made some errors on this homestand, but in certain ways they're errors of aggression, and you don't mind that. Pitch is low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, and as you know, this is a whole different league from the Frontier League. I mean, the quality of the play here, the quality of the pitching, everything about it's a whole different world.
1 ball, 1 strike. Mitchell swings and misses. It is 1-2. He played Division I baseball in college, played at Oral Roberts, and still lives in Tulsa, like the community out there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Gardner is high and tight, make it 2-2. Just persistent injuries to middle infielders is such a part of the story of this season. Mitchell gives the 2-2 pitch, a long ride out to right center field. Way back it goes, and the walls will not contain it. My, oh my, that was a monstrous home run off the bat of Jared Mitchell. That's his 7th of the year, and we now have ourselves an 8-4 ball game. Well, he wants to throw strikes, does Gardner, but got way too much of the plate there, and Mitchell took care of it.
Yeah, that ball was hit a ways, too, and that just didn't barely go over the wall. That was out there at the walkway where it hit.
I would have to say that ball is probably about a 420, 430-foot home run off the bat of Mitchell.
Absolutely.
Here is Tejeda, who is 1 for 3. The hit, a ground rule double back in the 4th inning. But again, Joe Gardner pitching with the lead. He doesn't want to build a big inning here. Way inside, ball 1 on Tejeda. It is 1-0. Gardner now at 98 pitches for the ball game himself here in the 7th inning. But Butch used a lot of bullpen last night. He'd like to rest it. Slider back to the inside corner. It is 1-1. Will we see Pete Andrelzik for a 5th straight day? Pete told me earlier he doesn't want just 5, he wants 6.
That's the way Pete is. He wants to get out there. He wants to throw. And, at the end of the season, why not?
He wants the baseball. Inside, and that was actually behind Tejeda. And we're going to have issues. Tejeda is yelling into the Barnstormers dugout.
Here we go.
And here we go. Casey Hobson was hit in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tejeda is livid about that one. And Anoel Polanco trying to calm him down. Tejeda pointing fingers. The Barnstormers come out. It's getting ugly.
Uh-oh, here come the bullpens.
And the bullpens charge in. Tejeda upset about that pitch. And pointing fingers into the Lancaster dugout. We've got ugliness. I don't see any punches being thrown. You have to know how much Butch Hobson despises beanball wars, especially in the Atlantic League where you risk somebody getting hurt.
Uh-oh.
But we've got blue and red intermingled, and now it's getting violent.
Now it's escalating, yep.
As the mass of bodies gradually advances out toward right field, there is definitely some pushing and shoving in the middle.
I think we have 50 players standing in a circle here, and I'm sure the York staff is telling these guys, hey, don't do anything stupid. We need all of you for these last few games. And it ends peacefully.
We have a truce. 1 out, runner at first base.
Except for the managers. They're still having some words with each other, and Butch, well, he was walking away. Now he's coming back.
And I think that York is accusing Butch of retaliation.
Uh-oh.
And
warnings,
Bill
I think.
Bill Reuter is issuing warnings to both benches.
Yep. It's always nice to have a DJ Boston standing next to you, though, in an argument.
I'll take it.
That's right.
Any day.
So we'll have a little delay here as everyone goes back to the respective benches, bullpens, and we'll start this quite exciting game up again. This has been a real fun one, not only to watch, but to call with you, my friend.
8-4 in the 7th inning, 1 out, runner at first base. Andres Perez will step in. He is 2 for 3.
And I don't think that hit batter would normally have caused that, but like you called, it was actually a little behind him. So that's going to immediately throw red flags.
Hitters really don't like those balls behind them because they lose track of them. They're very dangerous. I don't mind Tejeda being upset there. Strike call that's 0-1, and he would have a right, as baseball players think, to be suspicious given the circumstances. Hobson hit the bottom of the 6th, the home run just given up, no balls to strike. It's really the perfect formula. To Perez, partial swing and strike 2, and the fact Tejeda's the catcher. So
just going to say that.
He could be thinking that the Barnstormers were thinking that KC was hit intentionally by Simmons in the bottom of the 6th, then, well, you could think that. So you understand the suspicions on both sides. You just hope that cooler heads prevail.
Exactly. And I was going to say the same thing, and I'm sure that's what he was telling Butch and the other players. Hey, we didn't try that. I'm the one that calls this game. I didn't call for it, so let's not go retaliating and having this little beanball war, which, like you said, Butch does not care for at all.
Ball 1, 2 strikes to Andres Perez, who has 2 singles. He has also reached on an error. Michael Rocket, the on-deck hitter, and Lancaster gets action in the bullpen, loosening up a left-hander for a possible matchup with Michael Burgess later in the inning. There's a swing and a miss. Perez goes down, and the strikeout numbers have exploded for Joe Gardner. He has 7. In the start at Sugar Land, he only fanned 1, and it was the last guy he saw. 2 outs. Tejeda still at first. Michael Rocket stepping in. It's 8-4 here in the top half of the 7th inning. And we have had a little of everything.
It's been a crazy game, and I guess, let's see here.
To
Oh, there we
Rocket,
go.
Chopper toward third. Bell will charge. He's as good as anyone, and he cuts down Rocket 5-3. It'll end the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. We have reached the 7th inning stretch here tonight. We have had some violent collisions with baseball and a little violence on the field. Time for the stretch, though. Things can cool off. It's 8-4 Lancaster. Bottom of the 7th inning at Clipper Magazine Stadium with the Barnstormers ahead 8-4. York goes to its bullpen. Jose Arredondo getting James Simmons out of there. Simmons giving up 14 hits and 8 runs tonight. All of them earned in 6 innings. Couple of walks, a hit batter, 4 strikeouts. That hit batter, a source of some concern and part of the puzzle that led to a bench clearing incident in the top half of the 7th inning. Here is Kevin Ahrens, who is 2 for 3 and is also lined into a double play. Barnstormers hit Simmons very hard throughout the evening. Now they need to solve Arredondo. The first pitch is a strike. It is 0-1.
It appears the starters' nights are over, and it looks like that might be Johnny up there in the bullpen, a tall lefty, which is always a trademark of him.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Kevin Ahrens against Arredondo, right-hander, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, from San Pedro de Macorís. Used to be known as San Pedro de Shortstop, but they have produced pitchers now too. Ahrens with a swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. It is 1-2. Arredondo has had a nice season in York. He is 1-2 with a 1.97 ERA and 31 appearances. He was late arriving with some visa issues. You just wish you could get the ear of someone in the federal government and get them to understand that they can't drag their heels on this. 1-2. Fastball upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It really annually has an effect on this league. Southern Maryland a couple of years ago was just devastated by not getting their players in from Venezuela that they had planned on. In the dirt, past everything. 3-2 to Ahrens. McDade and Wilson will follow.
Yeah, to your point, that seems to be a discussion that we love to have every April because there's always a bunch of guys that we're talking about visas with, and I agree. I don't know the whole deal of it, how it works, and how it could be better, but it seems like something needs to be done.
It's capricious. That's the problem. It's unpredictable. 3-2, Ahrens fouls it straight down, and I think that got the meat hand of Isaias Tejeda. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kevin Ahrens. 1 year you have trouble getting the Japanese players in. The next year it's Venezuela. And one team can get them in because they go through one immigration office where somebody else goes through a separate one. And it's a roll of the dice on an annual basis. 3-2 to Aaron's. Arredondo to the plate, swing and a miss at the high fastball. 1 out here in the 7th inning. Mike McDade stepping in. McDade is 1 for 3. Johnny Droz warming up in the Lancaster bullpen. He may be warming up for one batter. Michael Burgess, will see.
True, yeah.
He was throwing last inning with the potential of Burgess coming to the plate in a big situation. First offering is a strike on McDade. It is 0-1. I'm sure it's tough for the Barnstormers hitters to adjust to Arredondo right here because he's throwing so much harder than Simmons did. And he also makes the ball dive. That looks like a split he's got. McDade batting 0-2.
And like you said with the bullpen, I mean, we're not sure if he's going to be one batter, but if Butch is trying to save him, and with a 4-run lead, hey, let's see what he's got, see if he can get us through an inning or so, and then maybe it'll be Pete coming out here like he wants to.
Fastball is high. McDade batting 1-2. 1 out, nobody aboard. Bottom half of the 7th inning. And the pitch, Mike swings and misses. His stuff, speaking of Arredondo, is absolutely filthy. You can see it from here, and with our vantage point with the umpire and the catcher in the way, you don't get to see the ball dive. But you can tell that it is by the reaction of the hitters. We don't have the benefit of the center field camera.
You do. You see a lot of that. And even from my vantage point over there, you can see how some of these pitchers have balls that just drop to the ground. That makes it impossible to hit.
Wilson stands in, 1 for 3 with a run scored for Dean tonight. Arredondo to the plate. He is upstairs with the heat. Ball 1 and no strikes. Caleb Gindel waits on deck. 1-0. Chopped foul at the plate, a ball and a strike.
And like you said, that's a great point you made earlier about two different kind of pitchers. I mean, here's a guy that winds up and throws that low 90s fastball, and you haven't seen that for 6 innings. And now all of a sudden you got a guy throwing gas, and you better get that swing just a little bit quicker now.
Play Wilson to the opposite field. Fastball up and in. 2 balls and a strike to Dean. Lancaster with a 2-run first, a 4-run third, and then they tacked on 2 more in the 6th inning. The home runs coming early. Robinson, Bell, and Halton tonight. Swinging a foul, 2-2. Jeremy Barfield, we know, has hit his 25th home run of the season. So he temporarily takes the league lead. We'll try and check on the others in this wild home run chase. Bridgeport, by the way, has taken a 5-3 lead over Somerset in the bottom of the 6th. Southern Maryland has tied New Britain 3-all in the 6th inning. Long Island leads Sugar Land 3-2 in the 4th. Strike 3 called, breaking ball to the inside corner, and Arredondo strikes out the side in the Lancaster half of the 7th inning. We are done with 7 tonight. Still Lancaster 8, York 4.
The Federal Tap House isn't just a great place to meet your friends for a drink. The upstairs mezzanine and art loft has one of the largest collections of private artwork in downtown Lancaster, and a secluded banquet room that is great for private parties, rehearsal dinners, or business meetings with a big screen and AV hookups. Let the Tap House take the worry out of your next private function. That's the Federal Tap House, 201 North Queen Street in downtown Lancaster. Call 717-490-9632 to book your event.
When the alarm goes off, the rush is on. And then you step into your Lexus ES. Now that's better. Exquisitely crafted details and exceptional comforts surround you. Before you know it, it's back to the grind. And not a moment too soon. A moment just for you. It's not just a car, it's your daily retreat. With innovative technology and refined styling, go ahead, spoil yourself. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Joe Gardner is pulled after 7 innings tonight. He gives up 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. So no quality start for Gardner, but he still did the job with the lead.
Yeah, and we were talking about that, and it's, probably wasn't his best start, but he fought through it. He knew he had the lead. He threw strikes, and he kept us, with that. And it's 4 runs. That's not horrible.
He had the one bad inning in the 4th, but it was an inning that was built by some defensive misplay. 2 of the runs in that inning earned, but realistically, he should have just given up 1, I think, in the 4th. And of course, the home run off the bat of Mitchell in the 7th inning. Johnny Drozd has come into the ball game, 6'7" left-hander from Dallas, Texas, facing designated hitter Michael Burgess. Drozd in his 18th game of the year. He fires a strike. It is 0-1.
And it appears the answer to our question is going to be that Johnny probably at this point is going to pitch the entire inning, as the bullpen's just starting to get up there now. So they're not definitely ready to face Brian Pounds on the next at bat.
Outside and low, a ball and a strike. Burgess, 1 out of 3 in the game tonight as York's designated hitter. Stockily built, left-handed batter. And he gets ball 2 outside from Drozd. Now 2-1. Bridgeport breaking it open against Somerset, 7-3 now, bottom half of the 6th inning. 2-1, popped up left side. Bell goes back, gets around the third base umpire Brian DeBrouwer, squares up underneath and makes the catch. Burgess is retired for the first out. Johnny Drozd and Ryan Denick both, as time has gone along here, gotten a lot better than they were when they first got here at getting left-handed batters out. So it definitely gives Butch some options out of the bullpen with the tough left-handed batters coming to the plate. 1 out. Here is Pounds, who has a 2-run double tonight. He is 1 out of 3. First pitch strike from Johnny Drozd. It is 0-1. And he's got that funny delivery where he hides the ball for so long.
And that's the tough thing. You can't get a read on that ball real quick, and by the time you see it, it's already halfway there.
Next one misses, a ball and a strike. It's short arm, sidearm, and it comes around out of nowhere. He doesn't throw necessarily all that hard, but it's on you in a hurry. Ball 2 is outside to Pounds, 2 balls and a strike, with Josh Wilson waiting on deck. Lancaster 5 outs from keeping the Community Cup. Here's the 2-1 to Pounds. Sharp ground ball handled by Casey Hobson. He waves off Drozd, takes him to the bag. That's 2 outs. Josh Wilson stepping in.
And that's good pitching right there. Just as we talked about at the opening here with Joe Gardner pitching with a lead. Now Johnny's coming in with a lead, and he knows, hey, walks will kill you. And I know Butch is a big stinker with that. He wants guys that can pound that plate, throw strikes, and that's what you have to do. Challenge these guys. It's at the bottom of the order. Make them beat you. And right now, Johnny's winning the battle.
Here's Josh Wilson, who's 0 for 3. He takes a ball inside. Wilson has lined to left and struck out twice. Drozd has only walked 1 batter in 15 1/3 innings. He has allowed 24 hits. Here's the 1-0. Wilson takes a strike, knee level. It is 1-1. Johnny's proudest moment was pitching Texas Tech into the College World Series, saving a game against the College of Charleston. Fastball for a second strike. It is 1-2. He dreams of being able to top that someday and pitch his team to the World Series. They all do. But he said that he always wanted to do that, to get to the College World Series, and he pitched his team there. 1-2, Wilson with a sharp wrap foul over into his own dugout. His popularity just waned among his own teammates.
Yeah, you know, that starts as a young player. You see these kids, I just enjoy, you know, we just had the Little League World Series, and you see these kids coming up through, and that's what they dream of, getting to the big stage, making a play. It never leaves your system. No matter how old you are, you always want to be the guy and get your team to a World Series or a championship or something. And it's great because we see these kids at the Little League World Series doing their thing, the passion they have, and that never leaves you.
Here's a 1-2. Fly ball, center field. Gindel marching in a few steps. He is there. And Johnny Drost has a marvelous top half of the 8th inning. Side retired in order. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It is Lancaster 8, York 4.
Hey kids, thanks to Isaac's, you can be part of the Barnstormers. The Isaac's Barnyard Bunch is quite a deal. You get lawn vouchers for 6 games, 6 kids park passes, the chance to go on the field with your Barnstormers during the national anthem on 2 different nights, and a Barnyard Bunch t-shirt. But there's more. Any Barnyard Bunch member will get 2 vouchers for kids' meals at your favorite Lancaster County Isaac's Deli. You get all of this for only $25. Even better, if you sign up at your local Isaac's, you save $5 more. So join the Barnyard Bunch today.
We at Gockenauer Appliance know that buying a major appliance for your home is a major and tough decision. We want you to make that process easier. We now have a new website at Gockenauers.com that you can view live inventory, spec sheets, and all of our closeout and scratch and dent inventory. Browse the site and either purchase online or stop into our store and see the models in our huge showroom. Remember, we still offer the best brands at the best prices and back it up with the best service around. Gockenauers in East Petersburg and now online.
Scott Rice getting ready to pitch the bottom half of the 8th inning. Left-hander, former first-round pick for the Orioles. He is from Simi Valley, California. Same hometown as Barnstormer Tanner Peters, but Rice 9 to 10 years older. Rice will turn 35 later in the month. He'll be facing Gindel, Robinson, and Hobson in the Lancaster half of the 8th inning. The Barnstormers with an 8-4 lead. Chance to win the Community Cup tonight. Casey Hobson has extended his hitting streak to 16 games. He's now 4 short of the franchise record, which is shared by this guy, Caleb Gindel. Big swing and a miss for Caleb against the lefty. It's 0-1. Gindel tonight 1 for 4 with a run scored.
Caleb tonight playing his 130th game of the year.
He has been such a stalwart of this ball club. Fastball outside and low, 1-1. And I really hope the fans here appreciate what this guy has done for this ball club. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rice going to work on Gindel, the pitch. Ground ball toward the middle, past the diving Chavez, and a base hit. 15 Lancaster hits in the game. Trayvon Robinson will turn around to bat right-handed. Watching the warm-up down in the bullpen, I think that's Stephen Shackelford. We'll play our pregame interview with him tomorrow. We'll see. Or is it? No, that's Pete.
Yep.
For a second, I thought I saw the head jerk and the hat fly off, but no, that's Pete. Trayvon Robinson with a home run, a walk, a single, a sacrifice fly, a stolen base. First offering from Rice across the knees. It is 0-1. As Trayvon turns around to bat from the right side of the plate.
And I'm sure at this point, York, as tough as this is to do, and Trayvon's no rollover, but you've got to get him because this middle of the order has been just crushing the ball for Lancaster, and you certainly don't want these guys coming up with a couple runners sitting on the base.
But now all of a sudden, you've got Robinson, who's batting .294 as a Barnstormer. 5 home runs, 17 runs batted in. He's maybe the hottest guy. The Trayvon 1-1 inside and low. Tejeda scrambles after it. 2 balls and a strike. Casey Hobson waits on deck. KC has been hitting left-handed pitchers better. His father believes that's absolutely remarkable. KC has generally struggled in his life against left-handed pitching. He's owned them here.
And that's the neat thing. You were talking earlier about the single A dilemmas and not hitting, and you never know down here. There's a lot of good storylines. In fact, I was looking at the stat sheets earlier and saw that, and I looked again because it's hard to believe he's always struggled.
3 balls and a strike to Trayvon Robinson. Officially 2 for 2, a 2 runs scored, 2 runs batted in. When you sum it all up, now 3-1. Robinson goes for it and chops a foul over toward the York on deck circle. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's 8-4, bottom of the 8th inning. You could contemplate starting Caleb Gindel here. Again, no lead is safe.
No, you got to make something happen.
Ball's
I mean,
flying
why
around
not?
this ballpark tonight too. 3-2. The pitch to Trayvon, fouled again. The payoff pitch will happen once more.
Caleb taking a long look over across the diamond at Butch with the signs, and hit and run, good call. Tough against the lefty, though. It's always tough to get that lead off a lefty and get a little step on them.
Especially because Gindel hasn't seen his move, at least not this time around. Here comes the payoff to Robinson. Ball 4 is outside. He held on the swing, and for Lancaster, runners at first and second. Nobody out in the 8th inning, and now you got to deal with Hobson and Bell. An appeal to the first base umpire. York had been trying to appeal to John Harrington for about a minute and a half, it seemed. And Harrington finally alerted to it, and he's like, what are you even talking about? He didn't swing. I didn't even see the bat start.
No, not at all. But I think they're saying, hey, if we can get a cheap one here, we'll take it, because look what we're having to face now. Here's Hobson, Bell, and Halton.
Hobson tonight is 1 for 2 with the runs scored. Good enough to extend that hitting streak to 16. But he is now trailing Vidal and Barfield by a home run each in that race. Rice to the plate. It is low. Ball 1 to KC. On deck is Bell, who needs a triple for the cycle, as does the man off after him, Sean Holt. Scott Rice, 4-2 in 32 games. He has 1 save, a 4 earned run average. One ball, no strikes to Hobson. He gets ball 2 below the knees, 2-0.
At this point, it appears York's going to have a little chat, talk it over, make sure of your pitch. But remember, folks, it's a 2-0 right now. Nobody out, and as of right now, no one up in the York bullpen. So this could get interesting before this inning is out.
Lancaster leading 8-4. They'll be facing Chavez, Witherspoon, and Mitchell in the top half of the 9th inning. 2 balls, no strikes to KC Hobson. Rice comes set, and the pitch is ball 3 off the inside corner. And a chance maybe for Josh Bell to bat with the bases loaded. Bell already has 4 runs batted in tonight. He leads the league.
And another guy that hits left-handed pitching very well.
3-0, Rice to Hobson. KC checks, and ball 4 is inside. Josh Bell has a chance for history. Bell tonight is 3 for 4 and is lined into a double play the other trip. Single, double, home run. He has driven in 4. The single game RBI record for a Barnstormer is 7. Judd Heilman has done it, and Aaron Herr has done it. Should Bell happen to hit one out here, he would break that mark.
And take over the RBI lead more than likely in the league.
He already has it. Here's the pitch outside to Josh. It is 1-0.
Yeah, Josh Bell batting .347 on the year against left-handed pitching. What a clutch guy right now to have up.
Gindel at third, Robinson at second, Hobson at first. Here's the 1-0. Bell gets ball 2 outside on a fastball.
That's about, 7 or 8 in a row now for balls, I think.
He has been wild, certainly. It started on ball 4 to Robinson. He missed with all 4 to Hobson, 2 in a row on Bell. 2 balls and no strikes to the Barnstormer third baseman. Rice ready to go. Here's the pitch. Bell gets a strike on the inner part of the plate, and I think he was going to take one there.
Absolutely,
Bases
you're taking.
loaded. A guy's thrown 7 in a row out of the zone. You're taking. 2-1 to Bell.
You can feel the crowd here just waiting to erupt. One big hit, just make this place go crazy.
Here's Rice's pitch, swing and a miss. 2-2. Sean Halton waits on deck. Halton also with a single, a double, and a home run tonight. Suddenly, Scott Rice has found it. He is even with Josh Bell at 2-2. The pitch is ball 3. This one in the dirt, 3-2. Rice has to come to Bell here, and they both know it. Gave you the numbers overall this year for Bell. He has started to slide right-handed over the past week or two. At one point, he was up 370 or so from the right side of the plate. Payoff pitch is due. Rice to Bell, 3-2, swung on and missed. Josh Bell strikes out, first out of the inning. Sean Halton comes to the plate.
Give Scott Rice credit. That was, everyone I think was expecting that fastball to come in there, and he took something off of that. Strike out Josh Bell.
Bell's RBI total will stay at 86. He will not set the Lancaster single game record. There's more action in the bullpen now for York, a right-hander. It looks from here to be Ricardo Gomez, just from the angle of delivery. Bases loaded, 1 out. Halton digging in against Rice. The left-hander into the motion. The pitch, Sean, ground ball, shortstop, and this is going to be a double play, it appears, and it is. And Rice pitches his way out of the inning, and that should give York some momentum going into the ninth. You hate seeing that. Bases loaded, nobody out. The Barnstormers fail to score. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They end up leaving 2. We're on our way to the 9th inning. It is the Lancaster Barnstormers 8 and the York Revolution 4.
Vance Mountain Nursing School is dedicated to
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
I was actually right the first time. It is Stephen Shackelford who has been brought into the ball game. I thought I saw the head jerk on the one warm-up pitch, and then the next one I didn't see it. But it is Shackelford taking over here in the top of the ninth. Lancaster leading 8-4. The Barnstormers are 3 outs from holding on to the Community Cup for another season. Joe Gardner in line for the win. Johnny Droz pitched a perfect 8th inning. Lancaster had the chance to put this one away in the bottom of the 8th inning and didn't do it. Bases loaded, nobody out. 2 guys who had huge nights working, Bell and Halton coming up, and Scott Rice got a strikeout and a double play ball. They come in the other order. The Barnstormers score a run. Here is switch hitting Brandon Chavez facing Steven Shackelford, who pitched a third of an inning last night, got the only man he faced to pop out. The Chavez first pitch strike at his 0-1. Shackelford's used to the ninth inning. He was the closer in Reading last year, set the franchise record with 30 saves. 0-1, the count on Chavez, and the pitch is knocked foul down the left field side out of play. It is 0-2. Shackelford, setup man this year in Lincoln. The closer on that ball club was a former Detroit Tiger. They talked about Phil Koch all the time, and Stephen, later on after I talked to him today, said, I get mistaken for Koch at times. Ground ball foul. It is 0-2. Phil, having been here a little bit earlier this year, there might see a slight resemblance, nothing striking, nothing that would bring about the word doppelganger.
Exactly. And a good guy to have in. I mean, this is 3 big outs here for the Community Cup, and even though it's a non-save situation in the scorebook, this means everything to this team right now.
0-2, inside and low, hopping up to the backstop. Ball 1 and 2 strikes.
But you called it, Dave. I mean, as myself that plays, sports, and I have a neck that's a little on the gimpy side right now, watching this guy just hurts me with that head jerk. I mean, the hat goes, the neck goes. Whew.
Here's a 1-2. Ground ball slowly hit. Tough play. This is by Shackelford. Quick shovel toss by Aarons. Not in time. And guess what? It's another swinging bunt to get a 9th inning started against the Barnstormers this year.
And if you've been listening the whole game with us, we were talking about that earlier in the game, how many of these soft hit balls that we've been having, broken bats, soft hits, up to third base, up to first base line, and here we go, and the 9th inning starts off with one of those.
Travis Witherspoon will step in. He is 0 for 3 with a walk.
And let's not reminisce that here we go. We're at the top of the York order now in the 9th.
First pitch to Witherspoon is low. Ball 1 and no strikes. The Barnstormers may scramble to get Corey Burns ready. One more base runner, and it's a save opportunity for Burns. Trying to get the 30. 1-0 inside. Ball 2 on Witherspoon. 2 balls and nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly what you see now. Corey starting some soft toss, but pretty soon you have an official save situation. You also have this Community Cup on the line, so I know Butch Hobson isn't going to let this go.
Here comes the 2-0. Witherspoon with a blast deep to left field. That will be way back and gone. Travis Witherspoon with his 10th home run of the year, and it is now 8-6, and now a save situation.
And now Corey's starting to throw a little quicker right now, and I'm sure there's going to be a talk coming up here by Ross to just give him a little time.
It started with a dribbler base hit, and then Witherspoon deposits a pitch at 2 balls and no strikes onto the hill. That'll bring on Jared Mitchell, who homered in the 7th inning. Suddenly it is 8-6, and you look at the wasted bottom of the 8th inning. The Barnstormers have also hit into 4 double plays in this game.
Yeah, and we said that at the end of the 8th inning, how York was getting the momentum, and if that's not a kick to yourself to get it going, nothing is. After no outs, bases loaded, you get out of that inning unscathed. Well, here they are, middle of the order coming up, 2, 3, 4, and they're only 2 down.
Here's the 1-0 to Mitchell. Ground ball down the line at first, hits the bag, takes a bad hop over Hobson, down into the corner, and Mitchell is going to stay at second. Him getting to third in this situation doesn't matter. The tying run will come to the plate in Isaias Tejeda. Casey Hobson was there, and the ball jumped over his head, looked like it hit the corner of the bag.
Can we not say it anymore, folks? We've talked about all these unfortunate things. Casey was there, probably would have taken it unassisted, walking to the bag for the first out, but no, it hits the corner of the base all the way into the corner. And here comes
Rich Rundles, and he's managing the ball club tonight. This is not a normal mound visit for Rundles. Tying run coming to the plate in Isaias Tejeda here in the 9th inning. Lancaster 8, York 6.
And I believe, as you well know, Dave, this is probably a little talk about what to do, but more importantly, to give Mr. Burns a little time to be ready.
But Corey, like many closers, does not like to come in the middle of an inning. And he's going to do just that right now. The tying run coming to the plate as Stephen Shackelford gets hit a little bit hard, but could have been lucky and had an out or two in there. We've got a pitching change. It's 8-6, and we're going to pause for these messages.
It's baseball season, and no one is more excited about that than we here at Lancaster Bible College, proud sponsor of Lancaster Barnstormers baseball. At Lancaster Bible College, you can earn your associate's, bachelor's, master's, seminary, or doctoral degrees through a distinctly biblical lens in areas like leadership, communication, business administration, social work, education, pastoral studies, music, and many more. Find out how you can take the next step in your educational journey to earn a degree from LBC. Visit us on the web at lbc.edu. We look forward to seeing you at Barnstormers games this season.
Hey kids, thanks to Isaacs, you can be part of the Barnstormers. The Isaacs Barnyard Bunch is quite a deal. You get lawn vouchers for 6 games, 6 kids park passes, the chance to go on the field with your Barnstormers during the national anthem on 2 different nights, and a Barnyard Bunch t-shirt. But there's more. Any Barnyard Bunch member will get 2 vouchers for kids' meals at your favorite Lancaster County Isaacs Deli. You get all of this for only $25. Even better, if you sign up at your local Isaacs, you save $5 more. So join the Barnyard Bunch today.
Corey Burns is in with the tying run coming to the plate. Jared Mitchell at second base with nobody out. Burns 0-3 with 28 saves on the year and a 2.12 ERA. Right now he is tied for second on the all-time single season list for the franchise. His first pitch is outside and low to Tejeda. Ball 1 and no strikes. Totally different animal when Corey is asked to come in the middle of an inning. And it hasn't happened very often this year. Delicate situation. York up with a head of steam. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss at the breaking ball. It is 1-1. Burns has only come in with 1 inherited runner all year, and he allowed it to score quickly at New Britain. It was Pete's runner.
And do you think Mr. Tejeda right now would love to hit that 2-run home run after what happened earlier tonight?
1 ball, 1 strike. Burns comes to the set, and the pitch, swing and a miss.
He's not giving him any heat. He's throwing the off speed, and he's swinging at him right now.
8-6, Lancaster up, top of the 9th inning. Burns got the full night off last night. He saved Sunday's game against Bridgeport with a perfect 9th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and to Tejeda, just missing outside, make it 2-2. A lot of tension all of a sudden here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Community Cup at stake, 39-61, the crowd here tonight. And it looked like it was going to be a breeze. Not the case. Tejeda batting 2-2. Here's the Burns pitch out toward left field. In comes Robinson. He'll slide and he'll make the catch. That was risky. It's a good thing Trayvon caught it. 1 out. Put a star by that one in the scorebook. He keeps the tying run off base, but if he doesn't catch that and the ball gets by him, the tying run's in scoring position with nobody out.
And that's a tough one because you know he's playing back. Normally he's up closer than that, and that play isn't that hard, but being back as he was, thank goodness for wheels, because you're right, that could have went terrible.
To the plate is Andres Perez. He is 2 for 4. Trayvon Robinson calculated the risk and reward, decided to go for it, makes the catch. Perez stands in, Burns to the plate. Sharp ground ball foul up the third baseline, skipping up off the tarp into the seats, and then back out. 1 strike to Perez. Burns needs 2 more. 0-1 to Perez. Burns with the twist. Here's the pitch. Fly ball center. Caleb Gindel has this one gauged. He will make the catch. And there's no sense in Mitchell going anywhere. He doesn't. It doesn't matter if he's at second or third. In York's situation right now, he could have tagged easily and gone to third base.
Absolutely.
But, you could also trip and fall on the way there.
Meaningless.
You gain nothing.
Right.
2 outs. Here is Michael Rocket, who is 1 for 4. He had an RBI single back in the 4th inning. This guy does have 7 home runs on the year and 50 driven in. Burns needs 1 more out here. The pitch to Rocket. Ground ball, third base, 1 hop the bell. Clean throw, and the Barnstormers hold the cup. Woo! Corey Burns comes on and gets 3 outs. Here in the top half of the 9th inning, the Barnstormers will retain the cup full of red roses in the Two Dudes box office for another year. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base in the top half of the 9th inning. We'll be back with the line totals in just a moment. Our final score this evening, the Lancaster Barnstormers 8 and the York Revolution 6.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown is the place where baseball legends live forever. It's where the exciting moments of today stand along the iconic tales of the past. With new exhibits and artifacts telling incredible stories, the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a must-see destination for fans of all ages. Baseball in Cooperstown. Oh my! Plan your visit today. Check out baseballhall.org.
After you juggle the kids, sports, homework, housework, and squeeze in a moment for yourself, there isn't much time left to plan activities to keep your family having fun together. So give yourself a break and head to Strasburg Railroad, where the 45-minute steam train ride is just the beginning. There are family-friendly train events, vintage baseball, shop tours, a steampunk weekend, plus our popular Day Out with Thomas trains. The fun is as endless as your imagination. Reserve your tickets at strasburgrailroad.com.
Well, the Lancaster Barnstormers have won the Community Cup. Not outright, it's 10 games to 9, still 1 tomorrow, but tie goes in favor of the incumbent. The Barnstormers won it outright last year, so the Community Cup will still be filled with red roses. It will reside in the Two Dudes box office for the 2017 season, and there may be no championship this year, but at least that's some consolation for the fans here in Lancaster.
Oh, absolutely. And, it gives everyone a little sense of pride that we played a game. Yes, we made it interesting, but doggone it, at the end we came through and won, and we do have a piece of hardware that we keep at this stadium until next year, and then we'll put it up for grabs again.
Barnstormers win tonight, 8 runs, 15 hits, 2 errors, 9 left. For York, 6 runs on 11 hits with 1 error, 8 men left on base. The win goes to Joe Gardner. He's 3-1 again. Joe is very good at pitching with a lead. We saw that once again here tonight. James Simmons taking the loss. He falls to 11-9. The save to Corey Burns, his 29th of the season. He has been perfect in the second half. That's 17 in a row for Corey. He has been magnificent, and he has not blown one here at home. He has given up 1 earned run the entire season here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. He is just locked in this ballpark. Home runs tonight, there were a bundle for the Barnstormers. Trayvon Robinson with the bases empty in the first, his 14th home run overall, and that is his 5th as a Barnstormer. Josh Bell, and with 2 men aboard in the 3rd inning, hit his 19th home run of the season. Sean Halton followed that right away with his 22nd of the year. Long balls started to come for York late in the ball game. Jared Mitchell, hit his 7th of the season with the bases empty in the 7th, and then Travis Witherspoon belts his 10th of the year. That came with a man aboard in the top half of the 9th inning. 2 hours, 43 minutes. The time of the game tonight, 39-61 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers prevail over the York Revolution by that final score of 8-6 this evening. It did get very dicey at the end, but as I said, Corey Burns is magnificent here at home.
Yeah, and we watched this game today. We called this game tonight, and full of emotion and ebbs and valleys and excitement and scare all in one. And the Barnstormers held it together. They did what they need to do. They got the job done. And maybe second most important, Dave, my streak is still intact.
You've won every time you sat in here. You may be hired. They may just like pitch me out on a trash heap.
I will sit next to you anytime, but you're a professional, my friend, and I just look forward to this every year sitting with you.
Barnstormers over the York Revolution 8-6. We'll be back with the wrap-up show coming your way next. Again, that final score, Lancaster 8 and the York Revolution 6.
Once again, thank you, Lancaster. With your support, we are once again the #1 dealer in our district, according to a recent Mitsubishi report. Hi, this is Richard Bennett, co-owner of Lancaster Mitsubishi. To continue our success through the month of May, Ally Financial is offering 0% financing for up to 72 months on select models. And don't forget, with over 25 different lenders and rebates and incentives from Mitsubishi, we can put you into a brand new car with absolutely zero money down. And if you purchase a vehicle from us in the month of May, Lancaster Mitsubishi has partnered with the Lancaster Barnstormers to give you tickets to the Lancaster Mitsubishi Suite. So Lancaster, make your way to Lancaster Mitsubishi and become part of our story. As always, all sales come with our famous LLM Club, lifetime state safety inspections and car washes as long as you own the vehicle. We are located on the corner of McGovern Avenue and North Prince Street next to the train station. You know we have what you deserve.
The Barnstormers take down the York Revolution tonight, 8-6. Lancaster jumped on James Simmons right away. Trayvon Robinson with a home run off the back ad wall. He hit the bottom of the Pepsi sign with one out in the opening inning. His 5th home run as a Barnstormer. Later that inning, we had a couple of long doubles. Josh Bell hit the batter's eye for his 2-base hit, and then Sean Halton cracked the ball deep into right center field that bounced off the warning track past a diving try by Travis Witherspoon. It hopped over the wall for a ground rule double. The Barnstormers led 2-0. Lancaster would extend that lead on back-to-back home runs in the 3rd. Josh Bell stepped in with runners at 1st and 3rd and hit a ball out of sight. And then Sean Halton followed with the ultimate Clipper Magazine Stadium home run. Sean will take that one. It just was fair and just cleared the wall down the right field line. He'll take it. His 22nd home run of the season. Lancaster was up 6-0, but then York started to fight back in the top of the 4th inning. Isaias Tejeda with a ground rule double of his own, belted out to the alley in left center field. Andres Perez followed. He had a ground ball to the shortstop, Dean Wilson. Wilson made the play on one hop, and then it looked like when he went to shift the ball to his throwing hand, he dropped it. He was charged with an error. Runners were at 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Michael Rocket on a 2-strike pitch was able to muscle a base hit over the head of Wilson at short, driving in a run. Michael Burgess flied out for the first out of the inning, and then Brian Pounds hit a ball that we're all still wondering up here exactly what happened on it. Ground ball down the 3rd baseline. Josh Bell backed up, looked like he was in position to make the play. I don't know if it took a bad hop. I don't know if it hit the corner of the bag. But the ball got away from Bell down the line, driving in 2, and ultimately it set up a 6-3 ball game with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Joe Gardner against Jared Mitchell. Joe got out of the inning with a fly ball to center field. The Barnstormers would score their final 2 runs in the 6th inning. Dean Wilson led off with a single to center, and Caleb Gindel followed with one of his own, chasing Wilson to third. He would score on a sacrifice fly by Trayvon Robinson. Casey Hobson was hit by a pitch. Store that thought for a moment. And Josh Bell then singled into center field to drive in the 2nd run of the inning, his 4th run of the night to take the league lead with 86. And the Barnstormers had the 8-3 lead. Then came the top of the 7th inning. Jared Mitchell hit a long home run to right center field to make it 8-4. That came with 1 out, and the base is empty. The next batter was Isaias Tejeda, and Joe Gardner threw a pitch behind him that did hit him, and Tejeda was unhappy. Is that putting it mildly, Adam?
Very mildly, sir.
He was unhappy about it, and he was pointing a finger into the Barnstormers dugout, and there was this tentative peace for a moment, and then everybody started to filter out. Finally, the bullpens charged in, and we saw this sea of blue and red jerseys moving along down the right field line. Eventually, there was some pushing and shoving in the middle of the pack. Nobody thrown out of the game. Warnings were issued, but that would be it for the 7th inning. The Barnstormers would hold on to an 8-4 lead. Lancaster loaded the bases with nobody out in the bottom half of the 8th inning. You were looking for the game to be blown out. It didn't happen. Scott Rice worked out of the jam. And then in the top of the 9th, Brandon Chavez leading off at one of those myriad, bountiful, squib, swinging bunt base hits that the Barnstormers have been prone to giving up all year. It got a rally underway. Travis Witherspoon then wailed on a 2-0 pitch, belting a home run over the boards in left field. His 10th of the season was 8-6. Jared Mitchell followed with a sharp ground ball down the first base line. Casey Hobson was there. Oh, wait a minute. It hit the corner of the bag and bounced over Casey's head down the right field line for a double. Enter Corey Burns. He sets the side down in order, 2 fly balls and a ground out. And the Barnstormers prevail tonight by the final score of 8-6. And it's been a tough year for the Barnstormers. They do, however, win the Community Cup. And I don't know if that means a lot to the players. Typically, it doesn't mean all that much, but it certainly does to the fan base.
Yeah, and I think in this case, the Community Cup means more than other seasons where, you know, we've had something to play for, we were fighting for playoffs or preparing for the playoffs. This is a sense of pride that the guys can say, hey, we did it for you fans. Thanks for supporting us. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think the fans are a little more into this, if nothing else, for bragging rights over your West River rival, York. But nevertheless, we saw a very crazy game. I mean, 14 runs, 26 hits, bench-clearing dance around first base, and it was full of these ebbs and valleys, and thankfully it came out on the right end of it. So we'll see if we can outright. It'd be nice to outright win the Cup. Say you won the series and not just tied it, but either way, it's staying here, and I think they have to be proud of that.
10 games to 9. The Barnstormers lead the season series. We've got the finale of the Community Cup and the final home game of 2016, tear rolling down cheek. That coming up tomorrow night. More on that and the out-of-town scores coming your way next, right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Well, the Bridgeport Bluefish appear to be on the way to a doubleheader sweep. Luis Rodriguez not far from making it to the playoffs with that ball club. And how about throwing his hat into the ring for Atlantic League Manager of the Year? Bridgeport hasn't been competitive in a few seasons now, but he has got his ball club a couple of outs away from being within 2 in the race, and he's got the tiebreaker over the Somerset Patriots. Bridgeport taking the opener earlier today in the day-night doubleheader 6-4, and the Bluefish trailed early 3-0 against the Patriots tonight. But Bridgeport has burst past the Patriots, winning now 10-3 in the top half of the 9th inning, and it could get very, very interesting over in the Liberty Division. Somerset was looking at coming into this week needing realistically just to win 3 out of 7 games on a Connecticut road trip, as long as they won one of those games in each ballpark, going to Bridgeport first and then New Britain. They would clinch it, but Bridgeport on the verge of sweeping the doubleheader today. New Britain and Southern Maryland, they are deadlocked 3-all in the bottom half of the 8th inning at Regency Furniture Stadium, and Sugarland has taken a 6-3 lead over the Long Island Ducks. They are in the top half of the 7th inning at Constellation Field. Should Sugarland win that ball game, then the Skeeters would tie York for first place in the Freedom Division at 35-30. And Sugarland may be in a situation, the Skeeters, after this long skid they've been on, that they would have to win this second half in order to make it to the playoffs. If Somerset gets dropped back into second, the Patriots would go to the playoffs as long as York wins the second half. The Patriots had a 5.5 game wild card lead over Sugarland coming into tonight. It's not absolutely insurmountable, and Sugarland has the tiebreaker on Somerset, but still, that is a big hill to climb. It would be 4 games conceivably coming out of tonight, with just 5 games left on the schedule, tiebreaker or not. That would be a really difficult path to the playoffs for Sugarland. So the Skeeters definitely hoping that Somerset wins the Liberty Division. The Patriots hoping that York wins the Freedom Division, and that would just about seal Somerset into the playoffs. Got it? Good. Take a look at the Major League scoreboard. A lot of action in both leagues tonight. The Phillies are up 3-2 over the Pirates at the end of 8 innings. The Washington Nationals rallying for 2 runs already against the New York Mets in the bottom of the 9th to tie the game at 3. And Washington has runners at first and second with nobody out. Miami leads Atlanta 6-5. That is in the top of the 8th inning. Cincinnati has bumped off Milwaukee 6-4 tonight. The Chicago Cubs playing at St. Louis. Ball game tied 2-all. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Colorado has jumped out early at Arizona. The Rockies with a 3 spot in the 1st inning. San Diego at San Francisco still to come. Over in the American League, the Yankees lead the Dodgers in an interleague game, 3-0, bottom half of the 8th inning. Tampa Bay's up over Toronto 4-2 into the 9th, and the Rays with a chance to break it open. Minnesota knocks off Detroit this evening. The final score in Motown, 8-1. Baltimore leads the Orioles by a score of 5-3. That is in the top half of the 8th inning at Fenway. Oakland 5, Kansas City 3. They're going to the bottom half of the 9th out at Kauffman Stadium. Chicago White Sox with a big lead against Cleveland. It's 8-1 Chi Sox. That is in the bottom of the 6th inning. Houston up 2-1 over Texas through 7. And still to come tonight, the Seattle Mariners and the Los Angeles Angels. Well, my friend Adam Gockenauer, our annual night together has brought about another Lancaster Barnstormers victory, and realistically a big one here tonight as the Barnstormers get to hold on to the Community Cup.
Yeah, and great game, fun to watch, nice to have the cup. And I just want to say once again, I thank you, because this is a highlight of my year. I get to do a little stadium announcing over with John. I get to come over here and sit with you for a full game, and everyone out there needs to know how professional this guy is. I mean, I sit and watch what he does in between pitches while he announces a game. I listen to him, and I still don't know how you do it every night, day in and day out, because it drains me just helping you, never mind doing it. So once again, I thank you, sir, for the honor I look forward to you coming back and we can do this again and keeping my streak going. And, hey, whatever it takes to get this team to win, I'm ready to do, buddy. So thanks again, and I appreciate it.
Well, Adam, thank you so much for your support of Barnstormers baseball as a fan, a ticket holder, a sponsor. I don't know what we'd do without an Adam Gockenauer first inning promotion. We'd be completely lost. Alex wouldn't know what to do.
Hey, and we're going to come back and we're going to do it next year. And I just hope someone we had two or three guys close to the cycle tonight.
Bell and Halton had three-quarters. We were talking about that earlier. Has anybody had three of the spokes of the cycle this year? And it happens for two guys out here tonight. Josh Bell, star of the game for the Barnstormers. He goes 3 for 5 with 4 runs batted in, the win to Joe Gardner. And Corey Burns has to come out with the lifeline at the end. He gets the save, a 1-2-3 inning following the first 3 men reaching base for the York Revolution. Burns, his 29th save of the year. Well, tomorrow night is awards night, and we'll give out the team poster, although several of those guys have moved on in a various number of directions since that photo was taken, but a lot will be here signing your autographs as we come in tomorrow night. It's always a great time at the stadium. Usually it's a Sunday afternoon. This year it falls in the middle of the week. But come on out tomorrow evening. We'll be handing out the postseason awards. What person out of the 5 did the fans vote for the Barnstormers Player of the Year? Kevin Aarons, Josh Bell, Corey Burns, Caleb Gindel, and Sean Halton. I think tonight, Adam, we saw reasons why all 5 of them would be deserving.
I was thinking the exact same thing, and you're right. I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. I hate to see the season end, but great group of guys, and come on out and support the team tomorrow, everyone.
So join us tomorrow night, 6:45. The Barnstormers wrapping up their home schedule. Joey Mayer will take the hill against the York Revolution. He'll match up against Tyrell Harris. Mayer is 1-4, and Harris is 5-6 on the season. And just to give you a couple of quick updates around the Atlantic League, they're in the 9th inning now. New Britain and Southern Maryland tied at 3, and that second game at Bridgeport is over. The Patriots fall in the day-night doubleheader. Bridgeport with the sweep, and it's suddenly very interesting in the Liberty Division. Bridgeport with the tiebreaker and just 2 games behind the Somerset Patriots with 5 left on the schedule, and the Barnstormers would be the team to decide it. Lancaster finishing out the schedule up at Harbor Yard this weekend. Well, that'll do it here for us this evening. Again, thanks to Adam Gockenauer and all the cast and crew here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. I'm Dave Collins. Join us again tomorrow evening for the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report at 6:45. The play-by-play action to follow. Until then, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we will see you at the ball.